Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever Ember wanders near.
Right. So we have a lot to get through today. So we're gonna get started. And we're gonna get started with basically the corporation Bricks and Minifigs responded to Ben's video. So this is the first video where he talks about Bricks and Minifigs responding to his video. I'm actually gonna shrink down a little bit. I'm a bit big. There we go. So let's take a look at this. We got two of these first, and then we get into the continuation of the saga.
Well, Bricks and Minifigs officially responded to my Lego video we made about them.
Oh, by the way, this is the company that he made. While this looks like the company is actually called Bricks and Minifigs, the company that he made is actually We Steal from Old People with the subheading Bricks and Minifigs. So just so nobody gets confused, this right here, the green lettering, We Steal from Old People, that is actually the registered name of his company. He actually registered a company with this company name. It is real. He's even sold merch, which this guy is wearing some of that merch.
And I haven't read it yet, but someone just sent it to me, so I was like, well, let's make a video about this. This is not Lego video part 2. Part 2 is still on my Patreon if you want to check it out. Patreon.com/RecklessBen. This is just our response to Bricks and Minifigs response. Okay, should we pull it up? Actually, wait, before we start the video, we gotta talk about our sponsors. This video is sponsored by We Steal From Old People, and you can visit us at www.westealfromoldpeople.com. We're actually at We Steal From Old People's headquarters right now. This is our office, and we've been taking phone calls all day. Give us a call.
We would love to steal from old people for you, if you want.
Yeah. But we can't take credit for our business model. We're literally...
Yeah, stealing... Yeah, that's something, and he talked about at the end of the video. Apparently, when Bricks and Minifigs shut down, they told no one. They'd let nobody know, including customers who had purchased items that went to go pick them up and went, wait, what? Why can't I get it? They hold birthday parties there, and the people that basically had arranged to have a birthday party at Bricks and Minifigs showed up there. The store was closed permanently, and they're like, what the fuck? Nobody actually told me? They didn't bother to tell us that they closed and we can't have our birthday party here? Yeah, this is a shit show. This is an absolute shit show.
Just stealing from Bricks and Minifigs. They're the ones that thought of this genius business model, so they get all the credit for this. They posted this on their website. Let's see what they said. Over the past several months, many in our community have seen posts and videos regarding a dispute involving the former Bricks and Minifigs location in Salem, Oregon. We understand the frustration and passion behind these discussions. Do they understand?
I don't think they fully understand.
Because when I went to ask him about this was his response.
What's going on?
So you guys...
This is the CEO of the Bricks and Minifigs Corporation, mind you. This is the actual CEO that he talked to in his first video.
You guys are holding some of our Lego.
Time for a class action lawsuit with everyone who got stolen from by the store shutting down.
That's not going to work like that. That's not how the class action lawsuit works. The store shutting down, then, like with the birthday parties, the dollar amount is nowhere near enough for them to facilitate a class action lawsuit. It won't work. The highest, the only big dollar amount is the guy that Ben was trying to help. You're not going to be able to start a class action lawsuit over like a $20 or $40 like party reservation. That would be a small claims court thing. Absolutely. Problem is, business is shut down. Who the hell are you going to take the small claims court? If the business is shut down, who are you going to take to it?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No.
Bricks and Minifigs is built on a community of collectors and families who care deeply about fairness, and that is a value we share. Maybe Bricks and Minifigs just shows their care in a completely different way than most people do, and they show that care by stealing from people.
To be absolutely clear, Bricks and Minifigs does not condone, tolerate, or participate in the exploitation of anyone, especially older adults or vulnerable members of our community.
That's exactly what they did. They 100% participated. They facilitated the exploitation of the mat. So 100%. They absolutely exploit them. They basically took in $200,000 worth of Legos. I believe they may have sold some of them. I'm not 100% sure on that. And they kept the money. They would not give them any of the money. $200,000. And I don't think I'm not sure that they've gotten any of the money at all. And they basically just stole them all.
I fucking love that they just specifically put, especially older adults or vulnerable members of her community.
If they're not exploiting anyone, especially older adults, why are they stealing from older adults then? That seems like a weird way to not exploit old adults.
Yeah. When a complex business dispute is reduced to edited social media clips, critical facts are often lost. While we will not litigate this online, which they are currently doing, we want to clarify the core situation.
Okay, so
here we go.
I see what they're saying. So right now they're saying this is all a big misunderstanding. Ben has edited these clips to make us look bad, but we're not really bad. Now, for the rest of this article, we're going to share our side that Ben left out, is what I'm assuming they're saying.
Keep in mind they went into the store and just took them. Took what? What do you mean are you talking about when they swapped over franchisee owners? That's not the same thing. Like the woman that was the original franchisee owner, she gave up the store. Another franchisee owner came in and took over. And so then he took possession of all of the stuff that they had on consignment along with the contracts. He was talking about when the store shut down. Well, okay, when the store shut down, that's totally different. If you're referring to when the store shuttered and they basically yoinked everything out of there, okay, yes, that's different.
Here, right?
Sounds like it.
Maybe we were wrong. Maybe Bricks and Minifigs is right, and we should give them a chance to share their side of the story. So let's see their side. So it says the reality of the consignment claim. Much of the online narrative centers around a private consignment arrangement allegedly made by a former Salem store. It is vital to understand that Bricks and Minifigs Corporate was not a party to this alleged agreement, nor were subsequent franchises who took the ownership of the Salem location after the former owners were removed. So,
and that's not how that works. What that is trying to say is that, number one, Bricks and Minifigs, the corporate offices, they're basically like wiping their hands and saying, we're not part of this. We're not a part of this at all. And then the franchisee who took ownership of the location after the former owners were removed, why the former owners were removed, I don't recall exactly if they specified why the former owner was removed, but they're trying to say that when their franchisee who took ownership of that store basically is not responsible at all, which legally is incorrect. If you take over a location that has existing contracts and you take over a location and just as a franchisee and you're not basically taking it over and completely changing the business, but you're actually taking over the existing business, when you do that by law as a franchisee, you are taking over any and all contracts that are in existence with the previous franchisee. By law, you do. So that's bullshit. They flat out lied on this one. Well, it's literally as simple as that. They're lying to try and cover their asses, and you know what they're alleging is illegal. Saying that the franchisee who took ownership of the Salem location after the former owners were removed, and so we don't have to honor the existing contracts that were at this location. That is flat out illegal.
So Bricks and Minifigs does have a point here. The previous owner, according to Bricks and Minifigs franchise agreement, they're not supposed to do consignments. They're supposed to buy the Legos and then sell them. So I think the old owner broke the rules. However, this does not.
That part I was unaware of. That the previous franchisee owner broke the rules, and maybe that's why they justified she was removed. Is that they were not supposed to do consignments. Oh, that throws a wrinkle. If that is the case, that this is incorrect, he will clarify later in the video. Okay, good. Okay, he'll give more information. Very good. Okay, let's
I
continue.
think
then.
the old owner broke the rules. However, this does not. Basically, this is called a whataboutism. Is what they call it in politics. Basically, Bricks and Minifigs is saying, well, to take the focus off the bad thing we did, look, the previous owner also did something bad too. So because she did something bad, that makes, I mean, it just makes both of them bad. It doesn't make them, this doesn't prove their innocence.
Wouldn't he be able to go after the former franchisee owner who didn't honor the contract? I would say probably not, because the former franchisee owner did not maliciously not honor the contract. She was forced out by the corporation. So it was through no fault of her own that she was not able to honor the contract. That would be her defense in civil court. And I think that kind of defense might actually stick. I don't know for sure. I'm not a civil attorney. Andrew from Legal Mindset would be a far better person to answer something in that respect. I'm honestly kind of surprised. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think I've seen Andrew put out a video about this as of yet. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but I'm kind of surprised we haven't heard from him about it.
But we'll keep reading. Maybe this is just the first paragraph. Corporate did not assign, approve, or authorize this arrangement, which is further proof of why they should not have the Legos in the store. If this is something that the brand doesn't do, if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't do consignment deals, then they should just give the Legos back, right? There's no reason for these Legos to be in their store. They didn't pay for them. They're not doing a business deal with Brian anymore. So just give them back. Easy solution. Franchisees operate independent businesses. While they must follow system standards, the franchisor does not automatically inherit responsibility for private, unauthorized agreements a local owner may enter into. This is basically corporate saying, hey, we can't control our franchises, right?
Yeah.
And then, but the problem is when you go to the
Here's another part of the problem. If you are a franchisee, you are under the purview of the corporation. When it comes to businesses, there's two kinds of ownership. There's a franchisee, and then there is an owner who purchases licensing from the corporation. If this person was indeed a franchisee, then they fall under the umbrella of Bricks and Minifigs in terms of legal liability. They are not like independent stores that are basically purchasing licensing for branding or materials or products that they're selling. The franchisee is basically when it's a franchise, it is owned. The franchise is owned by an individual, but it is controlled by the corporation. The corporation makes all major decisions for any franchisee. So any changes, any changes in branding, any changes regarding interiors, any changes regarding sold products, things like that. Like, the corporation controls that. So them saying that they have no control over their franchisee is bullshit. Okay, that is flat out bullshit, because the franchisee absolutely has full control over the corporation has full control over the franchisee store. They can basically shut that down on a whim. They can basically revoke the franchise anytime they wish from the franchisee owner. So all that talk about, oh well, there's nothing we can do, it's the franchisees can do anything they want. No, they can't. Absolutely can't. Yeah, Subway being the perfect example. They're like literally any company that franchises operates this way. If the store is a franchisee store, the corporation still has full control over the majority of decisions with the store. If the store is privately owned and they are licensing from the corporation, that's different. Then it is indeed a private store that the corporation does not have control over. This was a franchisee though, so yes, Bricks and Minifigs, the corporation, could have basically stepped in and just solved this at any time.
franchises, they say, well, corporate told us to do this.
Who's supposed to be getting a hold of corporate?
In the security camera footage, corporate's the one taking over the store.
Seeking facts over narratives.
See? There it is,
But
right there.
corporate's the
Hold
one-
up. See? Corporate came in and took over the store. Okay, this is the old franchisee owner right here. Corporate came in and took over the store. And after they took over the store, all of a sudden they go, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. And they basically wipe their hands and say, oh, the franchisees can do whatever they want. We can't do anything about it. Yet to even acquire it in the first place, they actually came in and kicked the old franchisee owner out and took it over. So that kills their entire argument right off the jump, right there.
Taking over the store.
Seeking facts over narratives. Serious claims require serious evidence. I do agree. We both agree with that.
Yes.
We have repeatedly asked for the original documents and undoctored recordings that support these accusations.
Why would they give them? Why would they ever hand over their raw footage to Bricks and Minifigs? Why, in the name of all that is holy, did these people ever think that they would hand over all of their evidence to the corporation? Without, not through a manner of discovery in court. Like, if it actually went to court and there was discovery, they might be compelled to submit all of their unedited footage, all of the raw footage through discovery. Absolutely. Why would they ever think that they would do that if they were not compelled to do so by discovery? Fucking idiots.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Did we try to get the evidence over to you guys?
Yeah, did I remember that time when I had all the evidence in my hand and I walked into the store and I just said, hey, here's all the evidence. I'm not judging you. Let's figure this out. And what did they do?
Can we have like a clip like playing right now?
Yeah, let's roll the clip.
Well, so here's still all of the Lego sets you guys still have.
I don't have anything to do with that, and I don't want that. You can go ahead and leave, but I'm going to ask you one more time.
Like, right off the jump. Right off the jump, as soon as he said that he was there at the behest of the guy who had the Lego sets there on consignment, she instantly turned bitch. Right off the jump. And never slowed down.
Last time. I do not want that. You're not handing me anything.
I tried for a long time just to get her to look at this contract.
Why do you think your friend would be entitled to our inventory?
What's his? He owns the Legos.
Huh?
Yeah.
He doesn't own the Legos.
Well, yeah, we have a contract. He does.
By the way, the guy he's talking to on the phone, that's the current, that was at the time of filming, the current franchisee owner saying that the guy doesn't own the Lego. The base was saying, no, we legally stole them from him. He doesn't own them anymore.
So,
No, bro, are you an idiot? Are you stupid?
Josh, the police is showing up right now.
Oh, that was a good clip. I guess this clip is them begging for us to give them evidence,
It
right?
sounds like it.
And that we were the ones that refused to give them the evidence.
It makes no sense. They literally go, we have repeatedly asked. Okay, that's bullshit. Selective social media posts and investigative style videos are not a substitute for the complete records and legal agreements that govern the rights of all involved parties.
Okay, let's put all the evidence right here. We got the consignment deal. We got the full inventory list that the Bricks and Minifigs store made that shows which sets were sold, which sets are still in the store, and which sets Brian has not been paid for. This was an inventory list made by the store. Here's the security camera footage of corporate knowing there was a consignment deal.
These are ones that haven't, he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
Did you hear that? They literally just said, because that was like corporate on the phone. This was the takeover. This was, I think, the new franchisee owner, if memory serves. They had corporate on the phone. They literally just said when he takes over, he's taking over the responsibility of the consignment. That's on tape. And so they literally admitted that they are responsible for taking over the consignment of all of those Lego sets.
Here's all the metadata timestamped pictures of the sets that were still in the store when the owner got kicked out. I've printed all of this proof out and tried to give it to them, and this was their response.
You could go ahead and leave now.
Really?
So you could go ahead and leave now, or I will call the police for harassment.
Well, I'm not harassing you.
No, you are.
Wow, that was a really good clip.
Yeah.
It shows exactly what they wanted, which was obviously to talk to you. If a legitimate claim exists, there are established legal and dispute resolution processes to handle it fairly. Attempting to force a business outcome through public pressure, especially on unrelated stores and employees, is not a productive or fair path forward.
Except they tried that first. They did. They went the legal the legal dispute resolution process. Yeah, they did that. They summoned them to small claims court, and the corporation shut the store down and ran, and never showed up to court. And they got a default judgment against them because they never showed up to court. But because the store shut down and they ran away, they have no one that they can go after now. So they actually did try to. They did pursue established legal dispute resolution processes, and they ran away like a bunch of little bitches.
Basically what they're saying is, let's figure this out the legal way. Well, we did what he said, actually. We did sue him, and we won.
Yep.
And then they didn't like the legal way. Bricks and Minifigs was the one who didn't want to do it the legal way. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because this is what happened when we won.
Yep. Yeah, this is after they got they got a default judgment. They got the Frogan victory. They got a Frogan victory. All 10 cases in small claims court. They never showed up. They never showed up. They never responded. So they received a default judgment against the store. And so they would have each of the claims would have been $10,000. They showed up to collect the $10,000. And they showed up to, like, granted, he kind of dressed funny, but I'm guessing you already knew that they were closed. They shut down. They shut the store and ran away when the default judgment hit. That's what happened.
They closed down their entire store because Bricks and Minifigs did not want to do the legal way.
Okay.
Bricks and Minifigs stores is a private business with the right to protect their premises. We will continue to support our owners in prohibiting disruptive conduct or harassment. This is not about silencing criticism. It is about, oh, they're not trying to silence criticism. I feel like Bricks and Minifigs is doing whatever they can to silence criticism. And if you don't believe me, watch part 2.
Moving forward together, our position remains simple. Bricks and Minifigs Corporate was not a party to the unauthorized Salem Consignment Agreement.
Wait. But they were a party in the theft of the Legos.
Any legitimate claims should be resolved through the proper legal channels where facts can be evaluated fairly. And we are...
Now, here's a problem. If they say that it was an unauthorized consignment agreement, then why in that security video footage where they did the hostile takeover and they booted up the old franchise owner, why did they say that the new franchisee owner would take on the responsibility of the consignment? Like, you heard that in the video. The corporate person on the phone, I don't know if it was the CEO or someone else, on the phone said that the new franchisee owner would be taking on the responsibility of the consignment, and he specifically said consignment. So if he was agreeing, if corporate is saying that the new owner was going to take on the consignment responsibility, then how was it unauthorized? If it was unauthorized, when the woman was talking about the consignment, corporate just said, you had no authorization to do that, so not our fucking problem. But they did it. They said the new franchisee owner would be taking on that responsibility. Huh?
Already did that.
Yep.
So,
Facts can be evaluated. We put all of the documents on the screen.
we ask our fans and creators to consider the human impact of the content they share. Fairness is a two-way street. It requires looking at the full picture and respecting the rights of unrelated small business owners and their staff. I mean,
Small
shouldn't they care
business
about
owners.
people
Moving forward
below them?
together. This doesn't say how they're moving forward. Moving forward should be, let's give Brian his Legos back.
If a new business owner takes over, does not cancel the previous contract. No, that is incorrect. It would only be correct if someone basically bought the location and is not continuing not continuing the same business. But what happened is a new franchisee of Bricks and Minifigs took over from the previous. They basically the corporation basically booted out the old franchisee owner. The corporation said, we are revoking your franchisee status. You are no longer allowed to operate the store. They inserted another franchisee owner into her store. but it was still the same store. It was still the same company. It was through the same corporation. So yes, he absolutely is responsible. He is legally responsible for carrying on any existing contracts that were already in place with the store because it's the same company through the same corporation. It's just a new franchisee owner is taking it over. So yes, legally he is responsible for any existing contracts.
Back, right?
Yeah. We love the Lego community and the creativity it fosters.
Well, they're making the Lego community look really bad, so
I am
until they
surprised
give Brian his
Lego has
Legos
not
back,
stepped
they're just
in on
gonna keep
this.
making the Lego community look terrible.
We thank those who have waited for the facts before accepting rumors as truth.
I think what they're trying to say by this line is that they have the facts and we have the rumors, right? Because we're just trying to promote some narrative when they're the ones that have the facts. But if you look at the situation, it kind of seems like we're the ones that have the facts. I mean, we put all the facts up on the screens, and he now has a narrative with no evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Literally
So-
just like 4 or 5 pairs.
What can Lego do here? I can think of one thing that Lego can do. I can think of one thing. There's one thing that I can think of that Lego could do here, and it would be absolutely fucking based if they did do this. Lego could fund this gentleman's lawsuit against Bricks and Minifigs. Lego not simply disavow them. Lego could basically reach out to this gentleman who basically was doing consignment for all of these Lego kits and say, we are going to fund your lawsuit. Take him to court. We are going to fund you. Because funding the lawsuit against Bricks and Minifigs would be a literal drop in the bucket for Lego. Yeah, and they would settle immediately as soon as it came out that that Lego was funding the lawsuit for this gentleman. Bricks and Minifigs would instantaneously fold. Instantaneously, yeah, and it would be a monster PR win for Lego if they did that. So Lego corporate, if you happen to be watching my stream, you're not. If you happen to watch any of my videos, you probably won't. You have a means, you have an opportunity, depending. I don't know if this is going to be resolved by the time we get all through this. You have an opportunity, Lego, to basically catch a massive fucking W, not only for the little guy, but for your company as well. This is a PR golden goose right now that you could basically swoop in to one of the, to someone who has been, whose family has been collecting your Lego kits for years, who had the biggest Lego collection, Star Wars Lego collection on the planet. They were dedicated to Lego. You could swoop in and say, we are going to stand with our customers and we're going to fund his lawsuit. You could not get any better PR and advertisement as a company than that. You could not. So Lego, you have an opportunity here, not only to do the right thing, but to score a massive PR win.
Paragraphs with no evidence whatsoever. We thank those who have waited for the facts before accepting rumors as truth and who continue to support their local Bricks and Minifigs franchise stores.
Okay, here we go. Because this matter involves active legal issues, we will provide further updates only when it's appropriate and legally permissible to do so. So this is what they're saying is like, we're not going to respond.
Lego, I don't think can sue the company. As lovely as that would be, I do not believe Lego has any leg to stand on in terms of suing the company because Bricks and Minifigs has not basically affiliated themselves with Lego in any way. They sell Legos and that's it. They damage their brand. It would be a stretch. I'll be realistic. I think it would be a stretch for it to be damage to the brand. Now, if you're talking about like, okay, file the lawsuit just to force Bricks and Minifigs to basically spend money defending it, okay, I could be on board with that. But the chances of them winning, no, it's not it. And at the same time, it'd be a question. I don't know if Oregon has slap suit laws because that could be considered. Theoretically speaking, that kind of lawsuit could be considered a slap lawsuit. And I don't know if I don't know if Oregon has slap lawsuit protection in civil court or not. But I don't know. It's like it would be far more beneficial for Lego to basically monetarily sponsor this gentleman's lawsuit against Bricks and Minifigs. Like, that would be a more wise investment of their money because it's a legitimate lawsuit and they could basically be the financial backer for these people in their lawsuit. It would much better use of the resources and a much bigger PR boom. You know, Lego suing because of damage to their brand name, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care that a corporation is, nobody's going to give a shit that a corporation is suing a smaller corporation for damage to their brand name. It's it's basically retard on retard violence, corporate on corporate violence. It's two retards fighting. Nobody's going to care. But if Lego comes down and to a loyal customer of theirs for years and says, "We're backing you up. We are going to fund your lawsuit. And when you take these guys to court, we will be your financial backers." That would be gold. That would be an absolute gold PR move on their part. Oregon does have anti-slap law, so there you go.
Again, and they're saying it's because we can't legally do it. Their legal issues are with me. Like, we've already been to court, like, I think 3 times. I can share my side. Why can't they share their side? Unless their side would get them in a lot of legal trouble and they could go to jail, I guess, is why. Actually, it makes sense now why they can't share their side. Bricks and Minifigs is saying, yes, we have all of Brian's Legos in our store. No, we didn't pay for them, but we would, and their answer for that is, we would never try to exploit an old man. But it seems like that's what they're doing. They're exploiting an old man. So I think a better response would be, explain why do you have these Legos in your store without paying for them? That would be an explanation, right? Like, that would be good. But they won't be able to do that because what they would be doing is they're explaining what stealing is. And that's what Bricks and Minifigs did. And
because don't forget, they've sold sets. The previous franchisee owner has sold sets and not yet paid the individual for the sets that were purchased. So there are monies that have not yet been paid out to the individual. Don't forget about that.
Especially not just stealing, but stealing from an old person, which is who Bricks and Minifigs likes to steal from the most. There's also one more thing. So there's this other guy. It's like there's a Lego store like a couple blocks. It's like literally like right down the street from Bricks and Minifigs. It's called Bricks and Beyond. And this guy's getting a bunch of hate from my video because people are confusing his store with the Bricks and Minifigs store. Yeah, but the problem is this guy runs like a super ethical Lego store. And should we give him a call right now, actually?
It's very similar in names. It is not related to Bricks and Minifigs at all.
First off, do you enjoy stealing from old people?
That is not what we do.
Oh, see, so basically everyone that's giving you harassment then is basically mixing up the two stores is what you're saying.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that was the Bricks and Minifigs response. Typical corporate BS response. Not unexpected at all. Very typical, bullshit response. That they're only just getting started. We got more. So now we're gonna jump into Reckless Ben's. He got a Bricks and Minifigs leaked email. So this is apparently a leaked email that he was able to get his hands on. I have no idea what's contained within it. But it's more continuing on. This is all leading up to the part 2 that we're going to be going into. So let's see what this leaked email is.
Corporate Bricks and Minifigs sent out an email to all of their lower franchises, basically instructions on how to deal with our documentary we made about them. And we got a hold of this email. The email leaked online.
And now we're just going to read through this. I haven't seen this at all. So,
oh my God.
Dear franchisees, As most of you are aware, our network is currently facing a coordinated negative PR attack stemming from a former franchisee's consignment dispute in Salem, Oregon. A YouTuber, Reckless Ben, has released multiple videos amplifying this narrative, which has unfortunately led to harassment calls, review bombing, and store disruptions across our network.
So right away, I like how they say it's coordinated. They're saying like, oh, all the big streamers are working together now, and like all these people that are talking about it, that's all.
Did someone on the inside leak it? I'm guessing yes. I'm gonna hazard a guess and say yes, because I have no idea how many stores Bricks and Minifigs has, but I'm guessing. I'm gonna hazard a guess and say a pretty good amount of them are not the asshole that this franchisee that took over the Salem store is. And they're just like, they just want to like sell Legos. And so, yeah, I'm guessing like probably still a decent person that they saw Ben's video and they got that email and they said, oh, I'm going to let him know about this. Probably employees that don't like this either, but just need, oh yeah, the girl that was in the original video that they basically got inside information on. Like where he did a bit where he brainwashed her using cult tactics. I'm like 99.9% sure that part of his video was like a bit. They made it seem like he had formed a cult and he somehow sucked in the employee into his cult and got her over on his side. I'm 99.9% sure that was just like a bit for his video, and that the girl was probably, she's probably late teens, early 20s, and she was probably like, when he like talked to, simply just talked to her about what was going on, she was probably like, yeah, sure, I'll help you. And it was literally as simple as that. So I imagine there are other franchisee owners that have seen his video and also hate what Bricks and Minifigs is doing. And when they got that email, they said, I'm absolutely going to pass this along to these guys so they can continue their work.
A big conspiracy against us.
So he goes to a franchise Lego store in Salem, Kaiser, Oregon. It's called Bricks and Minifigs.
Them stealing multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Legos from at least Brian.
And a video by Reckless Ben.
300
political
source?
corruption
Okay.
company stealing $200K from an old man.
The reality of the situation, though, is that Bricks and Minifigs did such a terrible thing that a lot of people want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it's not like we're all coordinating to take down Bricks and Minifigs. It's just Bricks and Minifigs did such an evil action that everyone on the internet wants to weigh in. Oh, wait, one more thing. I forgot to address where we're at right now. So we are definitely in America. As you can see behind me, we are in St. Louis, Kansas City. Basically, we found out that if you have a warrant for your arrest and you flee the country, it's actually super illegal.
Exactly. We're 100% not in Mexico at all right now.
As you can see, and you can tell exactly where we are by the background, the arch in the background. We want to give everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna hazard a guess that we're gonna find out about this warrant in the next video. I think his part 2 video is going to get fucking spicy. I can't wait.
A clear recap of exactly what corporate is doing behind the scenes to protect you guys, what we can expect regarding a life cycle of this situation, and how we can work together as a team to move on from this defense to offense. No longer are we just going to try to defend our actions. We're going to try and take Reckless Ben down.
Dang.
So now we have the leaked documents of how they plan on taking me down.
While we will not litigate this matter in the media, we are taking aggressive action behind the scenes.
Why not do it in the media? If they have nothing to hide and they actually.
That's one thing that I didn't like about his original video. I kind of wish that they had gone to the media at some point and actually had the big news channels in Salem or even Portland come down and put the store and corporation on blast. Get a lot more attention, because the only reason why we know about this is because people like Asmongold, people like Phil DeFranco, people like Charlie talked about it on their channel. And while they do have big voices, why not get the big news agencies involved and get them doing stories? Okay, ABC, NBC, CBS, sure, I can understand why they wouldn't go to that. Why not go to Fox? Corp would have bribed the media. Corporations don't have enough money to bribe mainstream news media. They don't have the money for it. Would they even run the story? I think Fox would have. I think if they had gone to Fox News, Fox would have run the story, absolutely. Because Fox is anti-business. Fox doesn't like big business. So they absolutely would have been all about basically this is like screwing over a little guy. Now, I don't think not this kind of big business. They love like Fortune 500 business. They like Bricks and Minifigs is not Fortune 500. So they would have no problem going after a company like a corporation like Bricks and Minifigs that is screwing a little guy. Plus, it's a human interest. Plus, there's a major human interest. So they absolutely would have run. They absolutely would have run it. I have no doubt. Maybe even ABC, NBC, and CBS. Maybe even them too. But I was disappointed that they didn't, or maybe they did, and the news media told them to fuck off, and they just didn't mention it in their video. But I would have liked to have seen them approach the media and go, "Hey, we've got a story here of a corporation and a franchisee stealing $200,000 or $100,000 from this old man and his son. Like, this is fraud, and fraud, you know, and that is a very big hot topic in the media space right now. All the fraud happening. Granted, it's not this kind of fraud, but fraud is a hot button news topic right now. And I imagine many of the news agencies be like, "Oh, fraud, we're on it." So I'm a little surprised. I am a little surprised they didn't like try. We didn't see anything about them reaching out to like public media on it.
Are the innocent ones? Why not do it in the public? Because then if they make it public, the public will see that they have nothing to hide, or they're going to do it behind the scenes because they know that they're only suing us in order to silence us. Oh, keep going. Sorry.
All right. Corporate was not involved in this specific local consignment issue.
Whoa.
And that's the problem. Because if it's a franchisee, corporate is involved. No matter how much they try to say, "Oh, the franchisees can do whatever they want," doesn't work that way. If they're a franchisee, corporate is involved by default. Because a franchisee is an extension of corporate. So that's fucking lie. Absolute fucking lie right there.
Oh, wait. Don't we have them on video saying they're going to be taking the consignment over?
He's taking on the business. He takes on all that consignment.
That person on the phone is actually one of the people from the corporate offices that says, "We are taking over the consignment now." This is a corporate issue. This is corporate lying to their franchisees right now.
Corporate was not involved in this specific local consignment issue, and we are holding firm on the facts.
I kind of feel bad for the
News stories on this. ABC News 6 hours ago on their site. NSN 17 hours ago. Yahoo News Dago. Yeah, except they were working on this like what? He put out his video on this like a week ago. They've been working on this for months. Bearing in mind, before he put the video out about a week ago, this was a months-long investigation that they were doing. So the fact that it's only coming out now because he put up the video on YouTube and big YouTubers have basically broadcast it. Once again, kind of showing how worthless media is these days in terms of investigative journalism, because it was YouTubers that broke this story, bigger YouTubers that basically put it on blast, and then the news media, like the vultures that they are, decided to go, "Oh, we'll come in and snap and get these scraps and put them on our network and get some more ad revenue by talking about it." So yeah, they are months late to this party. They're a week late to this party compared to online content creators. Again, once more proving that mainstream media, y'all fucking worthless. You're done. Fucking hang it up. You're done. We're, to coin a phrase, us streamers and YouTubers, we're the fucking captain now.
Franchise owners here, because it's like we are showing so much evidence of these things that are happening, and then corporate's saying, "Hey, all this evidence, you can't believe it because we have the facts. We're not going to show you the facts, but we have the facts." And now as a franchise owner, you have to think, okay, do I believe the side with all the evidence and get fired? Because if they take our side with the evidence, then they get fired. Or do I just take the side that claims they have the facts but don't have the facts, and then this way I don't get fired? Yeah, so corporate's kind of putting all their franchises in a really bad situation right now.
Yes, they are.
And it kind of sucks because it's like, I actually like Bricks and Minifigs. I think there's a lot of innocent franchises out there that didn't do anything, but corporate's just saying like, we don't care about our franchises. We're going to screw over all our franchises. it kind of sucks that corporate's doing that, and we're trying to help corporate do the right thing right now so the innocent franchises don't get screwed, but corporate's just screwing everything up for these innocent franchises right now by doing this. Law enforcement and federal involvement. We are actively working and sharing records with local police, Oregon State Police, the FBI, and USPIS. So
that was a fucking lie.
There is no fucking shot that they're working with them. No shot. They're hiding. They're basically turtling up and they're desperately trying to hide.
basically, Bricks and Minifigs is getting the FBI involved. Legal action. Our legal team is preparing.
No, but they're not. They're not getting the FBI involved for one very specific reason. They don't want the FBI involved because if they present the FBI with all of their evidence, then the FBI is going to take one look at that and go, "Hey, corporate, we need to have a conversation." So yeah, no, they are not getting any of those agencies involved whatsoever because these guys have all the evidence. Yeah, it's not the fact that correct. It's not even a federal case. There's nothing federal about this. There have been no crimes committed across state lines. This is all local. USPS, USPS inspectors, they have zero jurisdiction. They have not. Actually, wait. Would USPS have jurisdiction? Because in the original video, they did do a con where they had one of their guys dress up like an Amazon delivery driver and go to the store like months before they even started their investigation and had the manager sign a document on a phone pretending like they were delivering a package, but really she was signing some like contract that would prevent him from getting banned from the store, and every time she called the cops, they'd have to pay like $5,000. But I don't know if that would be federal. Yeah, it's like Amazon isn't USPS. Is that legal? That's a big question mark. That is, I'm not gonna lie, that's a huge fucking question mark of how legal any of that is. Why doesn't he just go to the FBI if he has all the evidence? Because the FBI has no jurisdiction here. This is not a federal case. It's not. It's not a federal case in any way. As far as like his buddy dressing up like a delivery driver, pretending to deliver an Amazon package, there could be issues there in and of themselves. Yeah, if they dress up as an independent delivery driver, not a USPS employee, they have nothing. It definitely wasn't a USPS driver. It's that stunt of his, I will say, is questionable. That's something he could get shit for. I didn't like that he did that because there is some legality there that could fuck him up. Now, whether or not that's going to come back to bite him in the ass, I don't know, but that was one of his stunts. And again, that's in the original video if you guys go watch it. That was one of his stunts. Like they pulled off some absolutely batshit crazy schemes in the original video. They did like 4 or 5 schemes in the original video that were just like, they should not have worked, but somehow they did work. That was one of them where it was like, you shouldn't have done that. You really shouldn't have done that.
Bricks and Minifigs is getting the FBI involved. Legal action. Our legal team is preparing direct claims and seeking a TRO, a temporary restraining order, to halt the harassment and push this matter to full litigation against all parties. So basically, I think what they're trying to say here is they're trying to get some type of order where we can't post anything about them on social media. And so they're like, oh, well, if we can somehow silence them, then we can get away with our crime, is what they're basically saying. And we can see this because in my last video, they put random like copyright claims and privacy complaints over the entire video of scenes where it's literally just like me and you hanging out with each other. And like, did you want your face blurred in the video?
No.
Well, I can speak for myself. I didn't want my face blurred in the video. So Bricks and Minifigs is basically doing a bunch of weird stuff to try and get my videos taken down. And they said in their last response, it wasn't to silence criticism, but that's kind of what it seems like it is. Issuing cease and desist demands regarding unauthorized.
Yeah, I noticed that too. When I was watching Asmongold's video on this, I was like, why are these, what is up with this odd fucking blurring that seems like it was blurring nothing? It made no fucking sense where I was seeing this random blurring fucking everywhere. I was like, what the hell is all that? So that would explain it. They were trying to slap them with copyright over and over and over again. And so every time they did, they blurred out the thing that was a claim for copyright. Okay.
Website they created. So basically we made a website called www.westealfromoldpeople.com. Basically Bricks and Minifigs is suing us because we're copying them, I think. So they got really upset at the fact that we decided to also steal from old people, and Bricks and Minifigs was like, hey, that's our thing. Only we can steal from old people. Bricks and Minifigs wants to have a monopoly on stealing from old people, and now that we entered the business, they are going to try and send us a cease and desist letter to take our website down. So that way they're the only ones in the game of stealing from old people.
If you have any old people that you want us to steal from, call this number.
I will personally answer all of your phone calls. Thank you.
It says the TRO is a preliminary injunction and is valid court order that will get the platforms to remove the content. Basically what they're saying is everything these guys did in their YouTube video was fair use. It was constructive criticism on how we can be a better company. However, we don't like that they caught us in our illegal act. So we're going to go to court and find some crazy loophole that maybe we can take advantage of the YouTube's AI algorithm that is, there's a lot of flaws in the algorithm. So maybe we can take advantage of that and find a loophole to take down their video so people don't get mad at us for what we did. That's basically what this paragraph says.
There's a flaw.
So you want to read the next paragraph?
Platform takedowns. We have reached out to Google/YouTube, Patreon, GoDaddy, and Facebook to report the specific pages, videos, privacy violations, and the coordinated review.
You're gonna take down my Patreon? What the heck? That sucks.
Oh man.
Well, subscribe now while it's still up. I do want to say this. Part 2. So I'm working as hard as I can right now on part 3. Once part 3 is up in like maybe a week, part 2 will be live on YouTube, and then part 3 will be on Patreon. So part 2 will be on YouTube very soon, don't worry. But as of now, if you want early access, subscribe to Patreon while it's still up.
Policy review. We are actively reviewing internal policies to prevent similar transition issues from occurring in the future. Oh, okay, I see. I think I know what they're talking about right there. So like internal policies. I think they're talking about the consignment deals.
That reminds me of another update. So since the last video, I actually got a hold of the franchise agreement that the previous owner, Crystal, made with corporate. And it says in her contract, it says consignments are allowed.
Really?
Gotcha, bitch!
So they lie. Again. You're shocked, I'm sure. They lied again about the fact they said that she was not authorized to do consignments. And in their own franchisee contract, it says they could. Got them! Oh, this is beautiful. These guys are just tripping over themselves with every move that they make.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's their number one argument, and it just says in the contract, like, oh, you can do consignments. So, like, what the heck, corporate? Sharing any of this internal legal strategy publicly with customers can severely compromise or damage our active legal case against Ben Schneider. Well, not only did someone share with a customer, they shared it with me themselves, so boom. And now I'm sharing it with the world, so take that, corporate. What to expect, the outrage cycle.
Based on historical data and export crisis management research, there's a typical cycle to online outrage. Understanding this timeline helps us manage expectations and maintain stability. Initial wave.
I like how we're trying to be like mathematical with this. Like, we have calculated every controversy current phase.
Okay, initial wave, current phase. Peak intensity typically lasts 3 to 7 days after major videos drop. While the spike in harassment and calls is sharp, it quickly loses steam as online attention naturally shifts.
Yeah, how'd that go with Nick Shirley's video? When Nick Shirley dropped his fraud case, that lasted only about 3 to 7 days, and then everybody moved on. Oh no, what happened? Oh, that's right, the federal government jumped on it. So, yeah, Good luck. Not to mention, you have streamers and content creators like me, like Charlie, like Asmongold, probably Kirsche might talk about this too, that are all putting this on fucking blast and are keeping up with it. So, good luck with that. Typically lasts 3 to 7 days.
We believe we are currently at or past the peak of the first wave.
I think they sent this out when it had only like 100,000 views on it, and now it's what, like 1.5 million views or something. Like, and every day it just keeps getting even more views. So, corporate, your math is wrong.
Court filing refresh. When we formally file our legal actions, expect a short, renewed spike. Another 3 to 7 days of heightened noise.
They're like, hey, our lawsuit is so garbage, there's gonna be outrage, is what they're saying.
Yeah, so just be prepared for it. The opposing side will likely frame our legal defense as silencing the little guy.
Well, if it's not silencing the little guy, what is it?
This is a normal, expected reaction, but it is temporary.
It's funny because like these last 2 paragraphs are about like, dude, the wave is gonna end if we just be patient. But now, Bricks and Minifigs Corporate has just decided to make this go on for like at least 2 more years, because that's how long lawsuits take. So
I guess we have content for the next 2 years on this.
What they say? They said 3 to 7 days is the heightened noise. Now the noise.
Yeah, this is the funniest part. They're trying to plot this out. Like, okay, here's the life cycle of this. The problem is they keep feeding him content. He's gonna keep making videos, and he's on the radar now. That's the funniest part. Kind of like how Nick Shirley was on. Nick Shirley was on. Like, again, this is how independent YouTube investigative journalists are going these days. Because we saw it happen with Nick Shirley, we're now seeing it with that. When Nick did his video about the daycare fraud in Minnesota, nobody had really heard of him. He'd actually put out a lot of videos beforehand. He traveled to foreign lands. He did journalism in other lands. Before that, nobody heard of him before Minnesota. When he did his report on Minnesota, he got eyeballs on him from big content creators that basically put a spotlight on him and his journalism and what his journalism revealed. Since that day, everybody's still looking at Nick. His viewership has only gone up since then. Then, probably before this Lego thing blew up, nobody probably knew who he was. He has done multiple videos. He's had, some success as a investigative YouTube journalist previously. He's like dealt with cults. I think he's dealt with Scientology. So like he's had some attention on. But now with the Lego thing, again, he got Asmongold's eyes on him. He got Charlie's eyes on him. He got Philip DeFranco's eyes on him, and that boosted the ever-living crap out of him. So now a lot of eyeballs are going to be on him. And so it's going to stay there for quite some time, because as long as he keeps doing investigative journalism, exposing shit like this, nowadays, fraud is, like I mentioned, fraud is a hot button. He's exposing, effectively speaking, fraud or theft. Okay? That is huge right now. And so at the minute any of the big content creators highlight an investigative journalist, an independent investigative journalist like Ben, who is exposing fraud and exposing theft of like corporations doing this or something, once those eyeballs are on it, they're not going away. Especially if their investigations are really well done, highly detailed, have like really drilled down into the facts of the situation. Once that happens and they've been boosted by people like Asmongold, Charlie, and Phil DeFranco, those eyes are staying put. They are absolutely staying put. They're not going anywhere. And that boost is only going to get bigger.
This is going from 3 to 7 days to 2 years, and that's all corporate's fault. So you guys are just screwing yourselves at this point. Decay phase, 2 to 4 weeks. Most online outrage fades significantly within a month, assuming no major new fuel.
Do you mean like the federal government beginning an investigation based upon the investigative journalist? You mean major fuel like that?
Do they think this is my only video on them? Like, we have at least like 6 Residual mentions may linger in niche Lego and other online communities for 1 to 2 months, but day-to-day operations will normalize much faster. Long-term recovery, 1 to 3 months. Reputation stabilizes. They think their reputation is going to stabilize.
Okay, hold on. I'm sweating over here.
It's hot and it's very nighttime in Kansas City. It's crazy how hot it is at nighttime in action
items. How you can help. These are the things that the franchisee owners are gonna do to make this better. Please implement the following immediately. Approved response options. Strictly do not engage emotionally.
That's good advice. That's good.
Yeah, wait. Is this going towards the CEO? I feel like he was really mad.
This is the CEO going.
I know, but like he was very emotional about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's writing this to himself.
The CEO is just telling the franchises, don't do what I did.
Train your staff immediately to use only these approved frameworks based on the situation. We understand our customers are smart and balancing.
Really? Is that why you had no problem stealing $200,000 from one of them? Because you think your customers are smart?
Legal caution with our values helps prevent the appearance of corporal avoidance.
Well, it seems like corporate avoidance is happening right now. They responded within like an hour. We responded, and they have not responded again. So should we give them a way that corporate can respond to prove that they're not doing corporate avoidance? Yep. If you would like to respond, these are the questions everyone wants to know. Question 1. In this footage, corporate says we are taking over the consignment.
He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
However, you say here, we did not take over the consignment. So on one side, we have proof. On one side, which is your side, we have no proof. Why should we believe your side if there's no proof? If you believe a side with no proof, that sounds like...
Not to mention the franchisee-owned agreement says that they are allowed to take on consignment. So... Go fuck yourself.
Something a crazy person would do, and your customers aren't crazy. So right now your customers are siding with the side with proof. But if you want to take the lead corporate, you can give some proof of why you weren't involved in the consignment. And it also says in the franchise agreement, consignments are allowed, but you say they're not allowed. Can you explain that one? Also, why can't Brian just have his Legos back? You're still keeping them, even though you didn't pay for them. Like, what's stopping you from doing that? Yeah, well, that's just the main three that come to mind. But if you start with those three, that would be a great way to win back public support if you could answer those questions.
Okay, so
yes, it would.
For general frontline staff, quick casual inquiries. Okay. Casual, yeah, casual. Oh wow, wait, these are like quotes. These are quotes that they want them to say. Memorize this. Okay, wait, come.
Oh my God, they're giving them a script. Oh dear God, they're actually giving them a script, and I guarantee you, this script is not for them to say to customers. I will bet you, without I'm seeing the first quote right here. I will bet you, this script is for when the news media eventually starts raiding these stores, trying to get quotes from other franchisee owners and employees. This is not to tell customers. This is for the media.
Come at me. Ask me a question. Okay, ready?
Hello. I heard your company stole a bunch of money and is not giving it back.
Holding my emotions in. This is a separate independent location, and I don't have any information to share regarding that situation.
Well, you must be correct, and I will leave.
Without buying anything.
Where are Brian's Legos? I'm gonna burn this entire place down.
Yeah. I'll call 911. I am unaware of the specific details of that situation and have no comment at this time.
Yeah. I have no comment at this time. Yeah, this is really a script to tell their customers and not the news media that they are waiting to swarm every single one of their stores. Sure. Okay.
Well, I guess I better leave then.
Wow, that actually works. We're here to get Brian's Legos back.
Well, I actually have a script ready for you.
Oh, you do?
We are aware of the situation involving another independently owned location, and we understand why people are upset and asking questions. While we can't speak to the specifics on an ongoing situation, Bricks and Minifigs does not support behavior that harms trust within our communities. Our local stores remain committed to operating with fairness,
Good
transparency,
God.
and respect for our customers.
This is for deeper conversations with regulars, as in regular customers and partners. Sure, it's for them and not the media. Who the fuck are they thinking they're kidding right now? Seriously, who do they think that they are kidding? Exactly. You sure about that? You sure about that? Why don't they sue the company again? Because they don't have the money to. That's what this all boils down to. If they had the money to file a suit against either the store or the corporation, they would have done so already. But this is a private citizen who's not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. He's just like a normal, I think he's like a blue collar guy. He does not have the money to be able to sue the corporation or or the store or whatever. He simply does not have the money to do it. That's why he hasn't sued. That's why I said that it will Lego could get a huge fucking PR win right now if Lego itself swooped in and said, "We got this man's back."
Oh.
Does that answer your question?
Man, okay. Well, if that's the case, I guess I'll just...
Well, actually, it doesn't answer the question because it says Bricks and Minifigs does not support behavior that harms trust within our communities. But they're doing that exact same behavior that harms the trust within their communities, which is stealing from old people.
Exactly.
I guess they think stealing from old people helps the trust, but maybe we have to break them the news that that's actually not a good thing. Okay, Bricks and Minifigs. If you steal from old people, that does not help the trust in your community. That makes
it worse.
Yeah, if you steal from old people, that people get upset at you if you do that. And so if you want to gain the trust back, you can give Brian the Legos back. And because that's ultimately your goal, right, is to get the trust with your community. So we're giving you a step-by-step guide of how you can get that trust back. Step 1, give Brian the Legos back. Yep.
Step 2.
Well, there's no step 2. Yeah, that's all you have to do.
Step 1, give the Legos back. Step 2, profit.
It's a very easy tutorial. I think they just didn't know how to do that before. But now that we made this tutorial for them, it should be very easy for them to gain the trust back. They have further canned response. What's a canned response?
Like a candid? Like candid, maybe?
No, it means... Canned response means basically bullshit corpo speak. A canned response means like a typical script. That's not candid. It's like they've compiled basically a collection of bullshit scripted answers. Yeah, it's a PR script that they basically have in this playbook that they can just vomit up depending upon the situation. That's what they can't, whenever you guys have heard me refer to a canned answer before. Canned answer is basically like a pre-packet. Think of it this way. When you talk about a canned response or a canned answer, that's basically referring to, colloquially speaking, a pre-packaged answer or talking point that has been used time and time again. It's like form letter, boilerplate stuff. This is all like pre-made, pre-packaged stuff that gets used frequently all the time. And so when someone actually can't think of a legit answer to a question or addressing a complaint, they reached into these canned responses, these pre-packaged responses, and then vomit them out at the person that they're talking to, which doesn't solve the problem, but it's basically a completely neutral type of response to try and basically just shut the conversation down without admitting to literally anything. That's what like a quote unquote canned response is. Yeah, it's basically like NPC dialogue. Yeah, that's a perfectly good comparison. It's basically NPC dialogue.
Canned response.
Candid. I think that means like candid.
It's not like they put the response in a can and give it to someone. Like,
I don't think so. Pre-written reply that someone reuses over and over instead of typing a new message each time.
Oh, so basically, I think this is part of the brainwashing. You know, it's like, hey, instead of thinking for yourselves, just blindly follow what corporate's saying without asking any questions. Because if you ask any questions, you get fired.
Somebody reached out to me yesterday saying they got fired because their friend asked a question on your YouTube channel. Your YouTube post asked a question and they got fired.
That's crazy.
They're telling their employees, do not say anything. Like
Trey, that puts a whole, you kind of doubt that? I don't know. Like, healthy skepticism on this. Absolutely healthy skepticism that she's being correct on it. Or that she's being truthful on this. Or that she actually has the facts on it. Like, yeah, absolutely be skeptical about that. Because, again, this is like we're playing a game of telephone here. Supposedly she talked to someone and that someone said that their friend said something that got them fired. It's the grain of salt, absolutely. However, if that is happening, big if on this one, if that's happening, I imagine there's probably going to be a shit ton of whistleblowing that we're going to hear about soon. If something like that is actually happening.
I think you read the whole thing. They think if they just shut up and stand back and be quiet, it'll blow over. Like, they don't know Lego fans and they don't know Star Wars fans.
Yeah. This is crazy.
They hired a crisis team.
Social media monitoring. Extra vigilance is required right now when monitoring your social media. We recommend turning off the ability to comment on your store's social media posts for the time being.
Wait, they said they're not trying.
Yeah, because that never backfires. What's the first fucking thing people in social media, especially social media news, point out when they turn off comments? That's one of the first fucking things that they talk about. Oh, look at that. They're getting called on it. What they do, they go protected mode. As in admission of guilt.
Trying to silence criticism, though. Isn't that literally silencing? It's like, oh, if we're getting criticism, let's silence it.
Yeah, exactly.
How is that not silencing criticism? Oh, let's keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
Review monitoring. Monitor your Google, Facebook, and Yelp reviews and immediately flag/report any spam or retaliatory reviews.
But they're not silencing criticism, though, Victor. Please instruct your staff to actively solicit a Google review with every single transaction. A brief verbal reminder at the register to share their honest feedback goes a long way. So they're saying we need to flag all of these reviews that expose us for stealing from old people, but then let's make up for it by just every single transaction, leave us a good review, and maybe people won't see the crime that we committed, which is stealing from an old person.
Please use the hyperlinks below to download the following assets we have prepared for you and your team. Crisis De-Escalation Playbook. The short playbook includes verbatim scripts for handling in-store filming, hostile phone calls, and social media comments. So I feel like you should download these and then
if any Bricks and Minifigs employees have links to any of these videos,
oh, if they could get that would be amazing.
Moving forward, we understand how stressful and frustrating situations like this can be for you and your staff. Please know that your safety, peace of mind, and the protection of your local business are our absolute highest priorities.
Well, it seems like all of that is actually their lowest priorities, because if it was their highest priority, they would just give the Legos back. That would be a good way to show that it's their highest priority, but they're not doing it. So that makes me think.
You know, it's funny. He's busted open cults before. Like, that's been a lot of what his videos have been on before. And Toten, thank you for the tier 1. He's using a cult tactic right now, and he's been using it throughout this video, the one we just watched, and his original video. He's actually been utilizing a cult tactic this entire time. Have you guys picked up on it? And, whoa, Snakes God, thank you for the 10 gifteds. Thank you very, very much. Has anybody picked up on the cult tactic that he has been using? Between this video, the previous one we watched, and for those that watched the original video, what he did in that. Anybody picked up on it? He keeps repeating over and over and over again. All you have to do is give the Legos back. All you have to do is give the Legos back. All you have to do is give the Legos back. He keeps injecting that phrase over and over and over into his videos. that is a cult tactic. It is subtle he's basically doing like, I don't want to say like post-hypnotic suggestion because he's not actually doing post-hypnotic. He's basically injecting suggestion into like multiple times throughout all of his videos. Just give the Legos back. Just give the Legos back. Just give the Legos back. To basically kind of like drill down into anybody that watches the videos. Just give the Legos back. That's all you got to do. Just give the Legos back. It's a very common tactic with cults. It's a very common tactic with interrogations, like with like law enforcement and military interrogations. You keep repeating the thing that you want the person to do over and over and over again, repetitiously throughout the entirety of the conversation. Politicians do it too. It's to basically place, essentially speaking, a post-hypnotic suggestion in the listener's mind. And he's been doing that this entire time.
That they don't care about their franchises. They're like, you know what? We're going to steal from this person and you guys have to pay the consequences for it. And we don't care about you because we're not giving the stuff back.
They want to continue stealing from old people, man.
Yeah.
This is a challenging issue, but it is not impossible to overcome. You're 100% correct. You already know what to do. We gave you a very clear step-by-step.
Well, they didn't know before when they wrote this.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The tutorial wasn't made when they wrote this email.
Yeah, actually,
but now the tutorial's out there. They know that they just have to give the stuff back, and they'll make it right. I have faith at least they'll make it right now.
We are doing everything we can to protect the brand and our online reputation. While the legal process is not always fast, we want to ensure you that we have a
No. Lunchbox, you don't see it? There are 5 lights. All you need to do is look. There are 5 lights. Surely you can see it. It's so clearly obvious. There are 5 lights.
very strong case against them.
Thank you for your resilience. Please reach out if you have any questions. Sincerely, the corporate Bricks and Minifigs team. Well, that was the email, I guess. That was kind of sick.
All right.
We showed you how to make a response, corporate. We would love to hear a response and get the public back on your side. You just got to give the Legos back. The public will be back on your side.
But in the meantime, you can shop at WeStealFromOldPeople.com.
Yeah.
All right. We've had our appetizer and we've had our salad. It is now time to move on to the main course. It's time for part 2 of this saga, with the title says, I got arrested because of Legos. And I do know that he has said something where he's trying to, he did mention something about needing a good lawyer. And he did just say that there's a warrant out for him in the last video. Question mark on that one. What's going on there? So let's open up the next saga of this chapter. And Monarch, thank you for the gifted. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into this.
Search warrant. Stand up. Step outside, everybody. No. Don't move.
This is the story of how I got swatted, all because of Legos. The whole thing started with me investigating.
Wait. He said he got swatted? Oh, that's different. Oh, that's very different if he got swatted. Okay.
A Lego company called Bricks and Minifigs. The company sent 2 guys to steal the world's
Drew.
largest Star Wars Lego collection worth around $200,000. And for some reason, the police are helping them get away with it. The family reached out to me saying that I'm their last hope to get them their life savings back. The video I made exposing them was actually insane. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
But
it was. Again, I will say it's like I'm not watching it here because it's very long and I already watched it all the way through and I didn't want to repeat it again. If you have not seen his original video, you guys need to. You absolutely need to see his original video. It is a wild fucking ride. This guy comes up with some of the most insane schemes that by all rights shouldn't have worked. But he was literally playing 4D chess the entire time. He was like, he literally was doing Batman levels of tactics and planning for some of the stuff that he was doing. Like, on his face, you're thinking there's no way this should fucking work, but it did. And that's just incredible. So absolutely go and watch his original video that started all of this off. It's like an hour and a half long, but it's worth a watch.
But we ended up taking them to court, and we actually won. When I went back to the store to collect my money, they literally shut down the entire store just to avoid paying us.
Dang it!
So I personally gave them an official closing ceremony, and it went extremely viral. And now the entire world has seen how corrupt this Bricks and Minifigs company is.
We didn't get the Legos back, but I mean, we shut down an entire business. Like,
we still gotta get the Legos back. Yeah, I made a promise to this family that I was not gonna stop on my journey until we get them their entire Lego collection back. Right now, the two owners, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best, probably think that they're safe by closing out the store. But the reality is, I can literally just sue them all over again, but personally this time. So I started to file my lawsuit. But right after I filed this court case, it got rejected. And the reason was, I failed to demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the dispute prior to filing.
Basically, before this court case can get approved, I have to at least attempt to settle with Josh outside of court first.
I tried calling Josh, but I'm blocked.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
So my only option left is to travel to his house to have this conversation in person.
Basically, if Josh...
Okay. My opinion, that's a terrible idea. Go away. Granted, this guy has pulled off some absolutely crazy schemes already, so maybe this might work in his benefit. I don't know. My opinion, going to his house to basically establish a good faith effort, bad idea. You need to have a lawyer send him a letter. That would be the smart thing to do, is to basically, hire an attorney to basically just send him a letter. What was the word I'm looking for? Like a registered do a registered letter from a lawyer on legal copy. That would be a hell of a lot better. Or even going to the corporate offices and having a sit-down meeting with him. Like that would, if you actually go to the corporate office and have a sit-down meeting with him, or at least attempt to have a meeting with him, and he refuses to see you. Yeah, certified letter. But or send the certified letter from an attorney. That would demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the differences. Not going to his house, now you're looking at getting in trouble with personal harassment. By going to his house, it looks like he's about to give him something. You're now treading a very fine line of harassment, which the court could also reject and not consider a good faith effort to resolve this. So I don't know what he's planning, but first blush, probably not a great idea. This at present, they are in Oregon. This video takes place in Oregon. Now, maybe they have moved since then, but as of this time, as of this moment, this video is still in Oregon.
Wants to save the day. I got him a trophy that says, Joshua Johnson saved the day. And we'll give him this trophy, but he has to give the Legos back first.
So we started driving to Josh's house to have this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
We're in Josh's neighborhood. Oh my gosh.
But when we showed up, Josh was already outside talking on the phone to someone.
Oh my gosh, okay, Josh is outside on the phone.
It's crazy.
Wait, do I interrupt his phone call, or do we just like wait?
Interrupt his phone call?
Yeah, he is.
No, probably not.
I thought it would be pretty rude to interrupt his phone call, so we parked around the corner and decided to wait for him to get off this call.
I like how we just have this conversation outside.
Right. He doesn't want to get his wife involved. He's hiding something.
Everything's good, honey.
What the heck?
I'm pretty sure Josh is on the phone with corporate Bricks and Minifigs. And the reason I think that is we were actually just there right before this.
Okay, pulling up to Bricks and Minifigs headquarters.
The plan was to give them one more chance to do the right thing before suing them again.
Okay,
While we were there, one of the corporate employees answered the door and told us he would get the CEO to come talk to us.
Okay. Well, no, they said they're getting some guy to talk to us. We're just waiting.
I can already tell you right now, no one's coming out to talk to you guys. Like
Really? But they told us that they were. I know.
Since Josh only lives like 15 minutes away, they must have informed him that
Boy.
we're in the area because a few minutes.
Boy, okay. Ooh, this is... He's doing it for the content, but it's... He's getting... I don't think he's getting ass chewing, but, like, I don't think Josh is getting an ass chewing. I think Josh is the one doing the ass chewing. But the way Ben's doing this right now... Yeah, this is not the way to do this. This is definitely not the way to be doing this. This is going to look bad on them. Like, especially him, like, taking photos like this. They've already got the cops on them. Okay, they've had the cops called on them multiple times by this company. There's a history there. This is... There is a point where you have to forego the content. If you're being serious about doing this, there is a point where you have to forego the content and do it properly. Like he should have just gone to an attorney, hired an attorney, and had a certified letter from an attorney sent to them. That would satisfy the requirements of a good faith effort to try and reach out to them. What he's doing right now is he's stacking problem upon problem. He went to the corporate building. They said, we want to have a conversation with someone. They said, okay, we'll get someone. Cops show up and say, you got to go. At this point, they are going to be running the risk of actual harassment by doing this. By going straight from the corporate offices to the CEO's house like this. The CEO may very well have a legitimate case of harassment to levy against these guys. I understand the concept of doing it for the content, but if you're actually trying to do right by this guy that you are trying to help, this ain't the way to do it. Or the owner, not the CEO. Sorry, yeah, the owner. Yeah, this is not the way to do right by the guy that you're trying to help.
Minutes later, this happened.
Dude, the police just showed up. What the heck?
Yeah.
Why are the police
Yeah.
at his house?
Oh, there's another one, dude. 2 cop cars.
3 cop cars?
This is your sign
There's
to
less
leave.
than 3 cop cars at his house. We didn't even walk up to his house yet. The cops are following us. What the heck? That's so crazy, dude. Obey every traffic law.
He's got his lights on.
Oh, shoot.
Pulling us over.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about. Yeah. He probably saw them. They were not parked all that far away. He probably saw them, and whoever he was on the phone with, he probably told them, they're here, call the police. Yep. That's why I said this is not the way to do this. Absolutely, bro. Like, I appreciate it for the content game, but nope. This is going to harm their case way before it helps. Unfortunately.
My name's Officer Richardson, Americorps Police. The reason I stopped you is the stop sign. You didn't stop that.
I didn't? I thought I stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. You said you ran a stop sign?
Huh?
You said you ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like...
Because we definitely stopped at the stop sign.
Stopped.
Yeah.
I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign. So
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold
we
up.
fully stopped.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Now, granted. No. I will explain. Granted, any normal cop would let this go. Okay, any normal cop would let this go. However, I don't know about, you guys are saying that he's in Utah. Okay, I'll say that they're in Utah. I don't know. I thought they were still in Oregon. You're saying they're in Utah. Fine. But the majority of traffic laws throughout the United States stipulate that when you stop for a stop sign, you have to do one of two things. Either stop at the white line. If there's a white line painted on the road, you stop before the white line. And in the absence of a white line, you stop in line with the stop sign. They stopped after the stop sign. Yes, it is a nitpick. It is. But by the definition of the law, if the law in Utah is the same as just about every other law, they came to a complete stop after the stop sign, which is illegal. From a legal, technical standpoint, they did not stop at the stop sign. Yeah, would any other cop just kind of let it go? Yes. But basically what the cops are doing right now is a classic thing. They're taking a tiny traffic infraction and using it as probable cause to make a lawful stop in order to conduct an investigation.
Same as far as I know.
Yeah. They were used, like, cops do this all the time. They will take a tiny traffic law infraction and use it as probable cause to pull the vehicle over for a stop in order to conduct an investigation into other things. And let me tell you something. This the stop sign thing was not the only thing that the cop could have pulled him over for. On any given vehicle, there is typically, at minimum, 5 things that practically every vehicle in the United States, there are probably at minimum about 5 different things on every vehicle that a police officer would be justified in pulling you over for. At least 5 different things on the vast majority of vehicles. Because there are, the detail in which the traffic laws are written, it really is kind of stupid. But they could have, okay, if you're driving, if it's nighttime and your license plate does not have the illuminated headlight above the license plate, that can get pulled over. If you have something dangling from your rearview mirror, you can get pulled over for that. If you have any object forward of the driver's vision, which is where the hanging from a rearview mirror thing comes to place, you can get pulled over. You see what I'm saying here? Like, there are a million tiny stupid things that a police officer can pull over practically any vehicle throughout the United States if they want to just pull a vehicle over because they suspect there's something bigger going on. That's what we're seeing right here. It was a tiny, minuscule thing that they are using as the pretext for conducting a traffic stop, which can lead into a further investigation.
Stopped at the stop sign, so this is an illegal traffic stop.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It sucks. And obviously they're using it to, obviously they're going to try and use it to try and levy something bigger against him. But it's not an illegal traffic stop. It really isn't.
So who's Ben?
Me?
Ben?
There it is.
How's Utah?
It's good.
You like it?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that the police know why we're here, so I just explained to them the entire situation.
This old man spent his entire life collecting the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection set.
The only problem is it's a crazy story, and the police officer did not believe me.
$200,000. $200,000.
It's probably not that the police officer didn't believe him. It's the police officer probably doesn't care. Because all of this did not happen in his state. So the cop literally is not going to care. The only thing the cop cares about right now is basically him stalking this guy and potentially committing a crime and harassing him. So explaining this entire situation will not help Ben's case in any way, shape, or form because the cop's just listening to him yabber on and is waiting to see if this is going to, Ben's basically racking up evidence against him as, to facilitate charges of harassment or stalking. It's a bad idea. Right now, what Ben's doing is a bad idea.
$1,000. It sounds crazy.
Yeah. When the officer went back to his car, this is the message that he radioed in.
Hey, can you get the contact for Reckless Ben? He said he didn't have his ID, but he's just straight lying to me about everything else, so.
Since the cops don't believe my story, they trespassed me from the property.
Everybody today is being trespassed from that property.
Okay.
Yeah, we were forced to go home without having this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
Yeah, what do we do now, dude? Like, we didn't even,
There you go. Yeah. He screwed up. like, again, he's got, if he's being legitimate in trying to help this guy out, he needs to start separating the content from doing the proper thing. What he just did is not the proper thing. It's, yeah, maybe he got a little bit too cocky because he was so successful before, and maybe he started getting too cocky and thinking like, oh, this will work. Everything else has worked. This is going to work too. No, it's not. It's, yeah, he's got to get the reckless part of his name under control and actually start going through legal process properly. Get a lawyer to send him a certified letter.
Like, get to talk to him and we're trespass.
So, dude. But one thing I didn't understand was how the heck did they know we were coming? I was hiding in the back seat the entire time, and the car's windows are extremely tinted.
These windows are so tinted that you can't see anything.
But as
how legal is that in Utah? How legal is that window tint in Utah? I know some states have laws against this kind of window tinting. Anybody know offhand? Because honestly, if every other car in the neighborhood did not have this window tint, the fact that it has the window tint alone would have been a giant fucking red flag to the guy. Because they were only parked like probably about like several dozen feet away from the house. So if this guy sees a car in a very nice neighborhood, let's be real, this is a very nice neighborhood. You see a car with this level of window tint parked not far from your home, and you're on the phone with someone from your company saying, "Hey, these guys just showed up wanting to talk," and it's those guys. He's going to immediately see their car and go, "Okay, yeah, that's them." Like, this was not a good undercover vehicle. This was not a good undercover vehicle. Corporate probably watched his car pull off after the police trespassed him. Also very possible. Yeah, Corporate may have gotten an eyeball in his car and told him about it.
I was outside inspecting our car tint, the same police showed up to our house.
Oh no, we're getting pulled over again?
And it was weird. He wouldn't tell us why he was here.
Like I said, we've already talked about it.
Yeah, well, thanks for being so cool about everything.
Yeah.
They're like after us, dude.
Anyways, since Josh clearly doesn't want to have this good faith conversation with me, I took his trophy and destroyed it.
God.
Hey guys, let's throw it off that thing.
Good God.
Just like in the previous video, I tried to give Josh the benefit of the doubt, the easy way, but again.
And this was one reason why I didn't watch the original video. There's a lot of this fluff in it. A lot of this performative fluff. The quick camera cuts, visual trickery. There was a lot of it in the original video, and what it all boils down to at the end was there was about 20 minutes of actual investigativeness to it, and that's why I didn't watch that's why I'm not watching the original one on stream.
Josh does not want to do the easy way. The only option left is to go the hard way. But before going the hard way, I actually remembered that there's another owner of the store named Brandon Best. Brandon is the guy in the security camera footage that illegally kicked the first owner out of the store so he could steal all their Legos. I tried calling him, but I am also blocked.
I'm sorry.
The only option left is to show up to his house.
This is such a bad fucking idea. At this point, I'm sorry. Like, he may have started this with good intentions. I will fully be on board with that. He started this off with good intentions to help this guy. But now he's letting the need for content override his brain. And he's doing everything in the wrong ways. Now, Asmongold may watch this like in a day or two, and he may be watching it tonight for all I know, and he may laugh his ass off at this and just go, "Oh my God, he's doing a retard move and it's gonna work," or he may do that. Realistically, I call it how it is, okay? The TISM will not let me laugh this off. He's doing this the completely wrong way. both with Joshua and now with Brandon. You spend $100 at a lawyer's office. You get a lawyer to write up an official letter. You get it sent certified mail to either one of their houses, and you do it the right way. Because this is a guaranteed fucking way to get the cops on you. Because they've already all talked to one another. He's now behind them in terms of communication, because they have all talked to one another already. They have already let each other know about him. And so now the immediate response to anyone seeing him is going to be a call to the police. So this is like, you're doing this strictly for this is no longer about helping someone. This is doing it for the content, and helping someone has taken a back seat. And I'm sorry, I don't like that. I legitimately don't like that. Because he's basically fucking himself, and he's fucking over the guy that he's trying to help. Because the guy that he's trying to help, any potential court case could be harmed by his actions with doing this. It could. In a civil court case, everything that he's doing could be used against him in the civil case that they might attempt to levy against this corporation or any of these people in the future. Yeah, he's going to get trespassed again, and he's going to get nowhere, and it's not helping him. It's not helping the guy that he's said that he's going to assist.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? Hello? Hey, well, I was wondering if you'd be down to pay us for the lawsuit that we won.
Okay. That's a big guy. Oh, the look on his face. He is looking for, this guy is looking for any excuse to start beating the fuck out of him. Any excuse. He's not bordering on nuisance now. He is probably classified as nuisance. But this guy, you saw the look on his face, and he's not saying a word. He's literally waiting for any excuse whatsoever to knock him the fuck out. Like, even just accidentally brushing up against him, he'll say, I was battered. He'll basically beat the fuck out of him, then call the cops and said, yeah, he touched me without my permission, so I defended myself. And at this point, the cops would be on his side because he's made such a giant ass of himself. That's why I said he's doing this all wrong, because he has no one on his side. I'm not sure he just looks confused. No, he's not confused. He knows precisely who he is. The other guy is already, they've already been, the corporate officer already called him. The other guy's probably already called him. They've shared his photo. He knows precisely who this is. And he's waiting for any reason whatsoever that he can basically claim, he's looking for any excuse to say, I was touched without my permission, and thus I basically beat the unholy fuck out of him to send him to the hospital. He's not trying to put on a tough guy act. With this guy, I think this actually is a tough guy act. Like, he's not trying to put on anything. I fully believe this. He could beat the ever-living fuck out of him. With ease. He's already called the cops. He's already called the police before he knew he was out there. So before he even stepped out there, he already called the police. He's just waiting for the police to show up.
It kind of seems like Brandon doesn't
That's
want
why
to
he's
have
not
this
saying
good
anything.
faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court. And I gave him plenty of time to speak.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk. So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed that.
Okay, so this is the guy that, this is the guy that he talked to on the phone in the original video. He had multiple conversations with him. This is him, the owner of the store, the franchisee, about basically, getting the Legos back, about taking him into court, stringing him along, about, we'll get it to you tomorrow, we'll get it to you tomorrow, we'll get it to you next week, we'll get it to you next month. This is the guy. Did he talk to? I'm pretty sure he talked to Brian. It was one of the two. I thought it was him that no, sorry. I'm confused. He's the one from the surveillance video when they took over the store. I think, I don't know. I'm getting the two of them confused on who he talked to in the first video.
So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed down the store to avoid paying us, so we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but
then the police showed up, and
there it is.
Again, for some reason, they are really trying to protect these criminals.
He didn't steal anything. He inherited the store from somebody else.
No, he stole $200,000
How
with
do you
the...
know this?
Again, the cops are not going to care. This occurred in a completely different state. They're not going to care. Even if the cops believed what he said, they would tell him, we have no jurisdiction. This occurred in Oregon. We are in Utah. We have absolutely zero jurisdiction of what occurred there. Him telling this story only makes him look worse. By him telling this story, he's only looking worse in the cops' eyes. He's not gaining any sympathy from the police. All the police know is that he's showing up to this person's house uninvited, and he's been, he is, in their eyes, harassing the people of this business. That's all they see. Should have brought a lawyer. Shouldn't have gone in the first place. He should have gone to a lawyer's office and had them send a letter. Like that. By doing that, it would have satisfied the court's requirements of making a good faith attempt to sort this out. By sending a certified letter from an attorney, getting no response, that would have satisfied the requirements. But he's doing it for the content. He's letting the content guide his judgment. And it's gonna mess him up. It's gonna fuck him up in the end.
Because I've been spending the last 3 months in the case, and I won in court.
He inherited the store. He's being blamed for everything that the previous owner did, and he's trying.
Well, that's a lie. So we.
Okay, hold on. I'm still
okay,
talking.
I'm sorry.
He's still trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner, and now he's catching blame for it. And he's just trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner.
No, him saying that it's the previous owner, that's a lie, and we already proved this in court. Okay.
If you come back and step foot on this property, you're gonna go to jail.
The police gave me a formal trespass notice, which I took a picture of it and sent it to the court as proof I tried to have this good faith conversation, but Brandon didn't want to have it with me. And turns out this was good enough. My court case with Brandon Best got accepted.
There you go.
But my court...
I mean, okay, great. It got accepted, but still. They're gonna go to court, and if either of these guys show up, they can say, Your Honor, we've been getting harassed by this person. We have no reason to believe that they had, legitimate intentions because they are constantly harassing us. They're constantly harassing our businesses. He's fucking up his own case right now. Like, I was on board with him in the first, he was doing some crazy shit in the first video, but I was on board with him. Now he's doing it for the content. He's not doing it for justice, and he's starting to lose me. I'll be honest. He's starting to lose me with all of this shit that he's pulling.
Court case with Josh is still going to be rejected until I find a way to have this good faith conversation with him. So I decided to see if I could find Josh online to see if I could look up any more information about him.
Guys. Yeah, they all look the same. No.
Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, Joshua Johnson.
Lower their tax liabilities and minimize their exposure to lawsuits. That's hella ironic. Are you kidding me, dude? That's what he's known for, is reducing people's exposure to lawsuits.
After some more research, we found out that both Josh and Brandon are super hardcore Mormon, which was actually extremely surprising to me because...
But you're in fucking Utah. How is it extremely surprising? Utah is the Mormon capital of the fucking planet, and you're surprised that they're Mormon? For God's sake.
If Josh and Brandon are truly Mormons, they believe that stealing is wrong, and if they steal, they're gonna go to hell. Or I guess in Mormonism they call it the outer darkness. But still, Brandon and Josh probably actually believe that this is gonna be eternity for them. I mean, Josh even swore to me on his Mormon God in the last video that he would give us the Legos back.
I promise you, I swear to God. I promise you on everything.
But maybe I can use this to my advantage. My problem right now seems to be that Josh is
No, the only way you could have used that to your advantage is if you use it in court. Pulling a stunt is not going to be using it to your advantage.
never gonna listen to anything I ever tell him. But if someone from his church heard this audio, maybe he would listen to them. So after finding exactly what church these guys go to, we went to it and showed one of the Mormons there this audio clip. And the Mormon thought that the best thing to do was to have a talk with Josh to save him from going to this outer darkness.
Okay, good luck.
Really? You really think... Okay, Mormons are a very tight-knit community. You really think that this guy, who belongs to the same church as Josh, is going to look at this video from a complete fucking stranger and is going to actually tell Josh, oh, you need to do this? No, he's going to go to Josh and he's going to say, yeah, these guys are stalking you. You might want to, like, do something about this and file a police report or file a restraining order. This is not fluff anymore. This is him being stupid. I'm sorry. He is being incredibly stupid right now. It's... Yeah, showing up at home, work, place of worship. Yeah, I mean, they are gunning for harassment. I don't know about stalking, but certainly a harassment.
And I guess me and Tyler are staying back because we're already trespassed. So
yeah, we ended up just driving home, but on our way back, this happened.
What? Pulled over again?
Yup.
For what?
Yup.
How's it going?
How's it going? I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fork Police Department. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, what's your name? Are you Ben?
Yup.
Hanging out down here.
At this point, we realized what's going on. Yesterday,
No
I told
shit.
Brandon that our plan is to now sue them personally.
We could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again.
It seems like they're getting so desperate that they're gonna resort back to the same strategy they used in the last video.
You know what's really funny is after you left, I got a call from my boss, and it was like, how do we get them?
This, by the way, is the girl that they supposedly use, like, cult tactics to get to, quote-unquote, brainwash her and get her on her side, when reality is they probably just told her what was going on. She's like, yeah, I'll help you. That's for reference.
Dang.
Yeah, Josh and Brandon think that if they can somehow get us arrested and thrown in jail, then we won't be able to sue them. I don't know what they told the police we did this time, but they caught us too late. The Mormon kid was already on his way to Josh's house to save him from this outer darkness and bring him back to God.
What's going on, sir?
He cannot be this stupid. Ben cannot be this stupid. It's... Oh, God.
You can sit on down here for me, perfect. Sir. What brings you here?
I'm just here trying to talk to Brother Johnson.
Okay.
I'm in the Harvard Second Ward. There's been an audio going around with the Young Men group.
Okay. What's the audio that you wanted to play?
Here's the audio.
I'm not gonna screw you. You have my word. That's not who I am.
Uh-huh.
I promise you, I swear to God. I promise you on everything.
Who's that?
So
I guess
from? That's him.
No, I know that. I could tell that from the voice, but
I was just gonna ask him, like, is he willing to give up everything like he said? Because he swore on everything. He swore on God. This might be a crazy ask, but could you take a selfie with me?
But anyways, back to us. The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets for me, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
This.
The vehicle will be searched. Okay. I'm gonna have you stick by with my sergeant.
Slow back. And Mask you only got us. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Gauss, thank you for the tier 1 earlier. I forgot to say something. Thank you very much. Hold up a second. Hold up. I want to hear what that cop said again.
Apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really?
You're caught with illegal substances in the vehicle. Huh? Okay, granted, he's like been harassing people. And yeah, someone called in a tip, yes. But it sounded like he just said, you are, oh, maybe he was saying if. Maybe we could have missed the if in the dialogue where he said, you know, the if did not come through on the microphone, perhaps. If you are caught with illegal substances in the vehicle. So now, okay, I'll give it and say maybe that was
substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's gonna do that. I'm gonna put this way, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets for me. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Let's do this. The vehicle will be searched. Okay. I'm gonna have you stick by with my sergeant.
After 2 hours of
slight problem with this, though. Unless they gave them permission. Yeah, that's where I was going. Unless they gave them permission, they have no lawful reason to search the car. Zero. Unless these guys said, yeah, you can go ahead and search my car. These officers, well, he Ben said go ahead. Is Ben the owner of the car? That's the question. Is Ben the owner of the car? I don't know. If Ben did say, yes, you can go ahead and search my car, that was stupid of him. That was incredibly stupid of him to do. Like, if this guy said, we got an anonymous tip that that you have illegal drugs, we want to search a car, Ben's immediate response is like, obviously he's being targeted. If he thinks he's really being targeted, then he should have said, do you have a warrant to search my car? They would have said no, and he would have said, you do not have permission to search my car. Why would it be stupid? They would find no evidence? Because if they don't find evidence of illegal activity, what if they find something else? Because obviously you've got these guys from the corporation that are sicking these guys on them. And they're believing the corporal guys well over Ben and his buddy. And so who knows how well connected? You gotta remember, this is Mormon country. These guys are all connected. These cops are probably Mormons. They probably go to the same fucking church. Who's to say that they're not friends and that they're not going to do something and that they're not going to do something? I don't think the cops they've been encountering are crooked cops. We don't know. Crooked cops is not like in Hollywood. Okay? They're not obvious. Believe it or not. Like when it comes to cops that are crooked on the take, doing a buddy a favor or something, it's not like in the movies where they're obviously dirty cops. They gotta look all scraggly and they have like a crooked smile and they're like, yeah, I'll help you out. And they have like an attitude like they're crooked. No, crooked cops, you can't tell often just by appearance. Okay? You cannot tell. And the fact is obviously they're having the cops sicked on them like this. So why would you allow them to search your car? There's no reason to allow them to search your car because the cops are constantly being set deputy. Now, granted, the guys themselves are doing stuff really fucking stupid regardless. They are doing like freaking harassment. But by basically getting a tip, oh, they have illegal drugs, and then you're going, oh yeah, you can search my car. No, that's stupid. That's really fucking stupid. Unless the cops can actually point to reasonable suspicion of why they should be able to search a car, i.e. there's something in plain sight that gives them justifiable reason to search the car because they've seen something illegal in your car, thus allowing them to search the car because they've already seen a crime being committed. There's no reason for you to allow a police officer to search your car.
These guys are making us members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints look bad.
It's just, oh, this is just bad on so many levels. And honestly, like, then take some responsibility for this. The way he's conducted himself in this, like, I don't agree with the cops searching his car. He should have never allowed them to search his car in the first place. But the way Ben has conducted himself is not good either. He's done this all wrong.
Searched, okay? I'm gonna have you stick by my sergeant.
After 2 hours of searching the car, obviously they found no drugs.
But they kept them hemmed up for 2 hours.
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Brixton Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing.
Or, counterpoint, they're harassing you like you've been harassing them. Wonder if he picked up on that angle. He's been harassing the Brixton Minifigs guys. So what if the Brixton Minifigs guys decided, okay, time for a taste of your own medicine, and now they're going to send the cops after him, harass him? The cops have just basically taken up 2 hours of their time for nothing.
Back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is why I think the police actually redacted this audio in this clip, because if they kept the audio in, then the world would get to see how stupid the American Fork Police Department is. But anyways, even though we were passing every single drug test they gave us, they were still not going to let us go until we told them where the drugs were.
Your eyes, for example, right? There's a constriction, which is dilated, and then
Do you notice it?
So I haven't been looking at this. I'll show him. Look, go ahead, look at him.
Oh, look at you?
Yep.
You do see it?
So
it's crazy. I have no idea, because I've never done any drugs in my life.
Yeah, now we're getting into the thing where they're deliberately trying to say, oh, you're on drugs because of pupil dilation. Yeah. Now we're starting to get into a degree of, okay, do these guys know the cops and that they're having the cops deliberately harass them? And they're just making up something to try and to basically harass them. And again, I'm thinking that they're doing this because they're giving him a taste of their own medicine in terms of the harassment. I do. Now we're starting to get in. It's starting to feel like, yeah, it's the cops are they're starting to get into the opinion that maybe the cops are crooked. That this is, they're all Mormons. Good, yep, the good old boy system, and they're basically they're trying to push. They're saying like, oh, your pupils dilate. Just tell us about the drugs. Go ahead. Remember how I was telling you earlier how Ben was using subliminal messaging, which is the word that I meant to say before and completely forgot to say about. But so, yeah, remember how Ben was using subliminal messaging by saying, just give the Legos back, just give the Legos back, just give the Legos back? What do you think the cops are doing right now? Oh, your pupils dilated. Where are the drugs? Just tell us where the drugs are. Just go ahead. Just tell us where the drugs are. All this can stop him. He just tell us where the drugs are. It's the same fucking thing.
I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I've never done any of that in my life. I'm willing to do any drug tests. Yeah. Like, I'm very cooperative. I don't understand, what you're seeing in my eyes.
I'm going to have a discussion with this officer.
And then the police department illegally redacted this conversation too. My guess is that they acknowledge that it's very obvious we don't have drugs on us, but they were going to try and pressure us into giving some type of false confession anyways.
I'm not sure if he minds me or not, to be honest.
I'm willing to take any drug test you want.
I'm walking a very dangerous line, which can get you hemmed up a lot. Yeah. And you could end up in jail in Utah when you're from Cali. Okay. Not worth it, right? Yeah. We play differently here.
Uh-huh. No, it's not a cop thing nationwide. No, it's not. In this case, I know people like to talk about, all cops, people love to talk bad about all cops. In this case, I think this is a Mormon thing. Remember, they're in Utah. Heavy Mormon. Church is a big thing. These cops are probably local. They probably know these guys. 100%. 100%, these cops know the guys from Bricks and Minifigs. Yeah, Utah does enforce the laws better, but the way that they're pushing them on this, 100%, they were, you know, someone made a phone call. Someone made a phone call to the police and said, these guys are harassing us. We need to do something about it. Yeah, it's not all cops. Yeah, they do exist. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not. It's a very small amount of cops. But yeah, there are cops like this in tiny, like 0.5% numbers in every police department. But yeah, these cops were doing the Bricks and Minifigs guys a favor. 100% they were, to harass them.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm willing to cooperate with you guys and do anything you want me to, because I'm not hiding anything. I can promise you that. I promise.
We weren't giving the police a false confession like they wanted, so eventually I guess they just got tired and let us go.
We'll let you guys go now, but you're walking a thin line. Just be mindful of that. Does that make sense?
Okay. At this point, I've documented everything I've been through to the court, that I've tried to have this good faith conversation with Josh. He just doesn't want to have it with me. And because of everything I went through, my court case finally got approved. And attached to this email are court papers to serve Josh. The only problem is Josh is not going to open this door for anyone. He wouldn't even talk to another Mormon. Instead, he just called the police on him. In order to get Josh to come outside, I'm really gonna have to get creative. So I made this poster that says, I stole a dying man's life savings.
This is not gonna help the case. They were doing this shit in the last one, and no, law enforcement doesn't serve the papers. This is why you get a process server. Yeah, this is where you hire a process server. You talk to, it's like, he's letting the content get way out in front of good judgment. Way the fuck out. Because this is going to end up getting him charged. It's not that he thinks it's a joke. He's doing it for the content, and he's riding the high of his previous victory and thinking he can do it again. But honestly, this is going to come back and bite him in the ass. It will. This is gonna fuck up any court case that he might have.
And printed it out. Now I'm placing this poster in a public space right across the street from Josh's house. Yeah, it turns out this tiny patch of land is actually free for any person of the public to use. And since we have the freedom of speech, I am breaking no laws by doing this. So when Josh walks outside to take down this sign, I have a process server to serve him his court papers.
No, you don't legally have to get a lawyer, but if he was legitimately trying to help this guy that get his Legos back, he would go to a lawyer instead of doing these theatrics for the content. That's what I'm saying. No, you legally do not have to get a lawyer, but if you want to actually do the job and get it done properly, that's how you do it, instead of doing theatrics for the content.
This. So when Josh walks outside to take down this sign, I have a process server to serve him his court papers. But almost immediately, my sign got blocked.
Oh no, he's blocking our sign.
What are you there, Ben?
So we are in a court case with them, and we have to serve them legal papers.
So I explained to the cops the entire situation.
I'm not going on his property.
Right, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The police realized that we're not breaking any laws, and they've been called here for a false reason, so they decided to leave.
Awesome, thank you. This is going so much better.
But now they're going to tell the guy.
So now it's time to serve Josh these court papers. And then we got the police called on us again.
Hello. This man stole, basically his family.
Stop! No, it hasn't worked the last half dozen fucking times you've been telling the cops. It's not going to work this time. Literally, all you need to say to the cops is, we are here to serve this person. That's it. We have a pending case. We are here to serve this person. That's it. Going into the whole fucking story is only going to look bad on him. Because now it's removing from his lawful service of papers, and now we're going into just fucking, like, drama territory, and that's not how you win over the cops. The cops don't give a shit about the drama.
His life savings, so we're just here to serve him his court papers.
Again, I explained to this police officer the entire situation.
I wish we could just send him an email or a phone call, you know, but yeah, the court requires us to come in person for some reason, so.
Again, the cops realized that we are doing nothing illegal and decided to leave. Now it's time to serve Josh his court papers, but we got the police called on us again.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Yep, can I see those papers?
Yeah.
So this is what you're trying to serve him with?
Yes. That's required by the court.
Again, the police agree that we are not breaking the law. They've been called out here for a false reason. This guy told me that he could even just serve the papers for me.
You okay if I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
Sadly, we can't see the police officer serve Josh because the police department redacted all of it. But the only thing that really matters is that Josh is getting served.
He does not want the paper. So
He's not want the papers?
Here's that back for you. Okay.
Yeah, the police told me that they can't serve the papers for me because I'm lying to them, and these aren't even real court papers.
Not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that. To be honest with you.
These are court papers.
Okay. It doesn't have a judge's name or anything like that on it?
Because it hasn't gotten to the judge yet. So this is serving him, and then we'll go to the court, and then the judge will be there. So the judge doesn't get involved until we're in court.
Why is he saying that you guys went on the property?
Because he wants us arrested, so he doesn't have to go to court.
It doesn't look good when you've been trespassed.
Yeah.
Trying to serve papers.
Well, I think it looks exactly how we're supposed to do it legally. This is the legal way to do it.
Well, we have 2 or 3 incidents.
Yeah, well, first...
Here's the fucking problem. This is the exact fucking problem. He's already tanked any kind of positive relationship he might have with the cops by doing his fucking stunts instead of doing it properly through a lawyer. And now the cops are going to basically be against him at every step of the way. No, he did hire a process. This girl sitting in the driver's seat is a process server. This girl right here is a process server. Now, why she hasn't done her job and gone to the house to serve him, God only fucking knows. Like, he was trying to play this game of, oh, I want to wait till he comes outside and sees the sign, and then, you know, and then we'll, you know, make a drama thing and have her go serve the papers, when it's like, that's... He's, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm like not on his side anymore. I'm sorry, I'm not on his side anymore. He's doing, he was a little bit wacky in his first video, but he was doing things proper. He's not doing things right anymore. Yeah, he's got court documents, but he's doing it in the completely wrong fucking way. He's playing fucking games, and that's not what you do.
So, they're incidents because he's lying to you guys. He's making them incidents. We came to do a good faith conversation, which is required by the courts before you can get a court case approved. So we did that. He called the cops on us. He lied to you guys saying that we had heroin on us. And we did a 3-hour search of the car yesterday. We found no heroin in the car. He's going to make up any lie he can to get us arrested. We are doing things the legal way, the correct way. The reason he's hiding in his house is because he's the criminal. If something doesn't look good, it doesn't look good for him, not for us.
Go the legal process, find an actual process server.
She is an actual process server.
And what is your guys' relationship?
I just met her today.
Well, maybe just have someone not affiliated with you.
That's her, yeah. We have no relationship. That's why she's here, yeah. That's why she's here. We have no relationship, and that is she is the exact person that you're describing.
I always thought that the police were supposed to remain unbiased, and if they were going to take a side, they definitely shouldn't take the side of the criminal. But I guess I was wrong. However, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm literally just following the instructions of the court, so the police can't stop me.
Okay, have a good rest of your day.
Okay, see ya.
Now that the police are finally leaving, it's time to game plan how to serve Josh.
Here's the game plan. Hand the papers to the process server, have her walk up to the house, and serve the papers. It's literally that fucking simple. There's no need for a game plan. If she's a process server, she's a legit process server. She's done this before. She knows how to do this. You hand the papers to her and say, go do your job.
But then, you guessed it, we got the police called on us again.
Oh, sure. The
For
paper?
what?
The serving paper?
Yeah.
Here you go. Well,
They think it's a false case? What the heck?
Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Trying to speak with someone to verify if a case is, just verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all for today. Thank you.
I think this phone call was the breaking point for the police.
Oh, he's rubbing his chin.
The police couldn't handle the fact that I was right and they were wrong.
Hello. For me. Okay. Okay. We're trying to find you back.
Am I being arrested?
You're under arrest right now.
Really?
What? Well, what?
Ben got arrested. Like, they didn't say anything when they were putting him in handcuffs. They just said, you're being arrested.
I was confused on what I was being
Charge.
arrested for. I mean, the same police officers that arrested me gave me permission to do exactly what I was doing.
You can film from the sidewalk wherever it's public, right? But you can't go on that property. If you do, you'll be charged, okay?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I got arrested for just doing what the police told me to do. What's even
But
more
what's the actual
confusing
charge?
is the police are supposed to be the good guys.
They don't have to. All right, common misconception that the moment the cops go on, you have to be read your Miranda rights. Incorrect. The only time Miranda rights need to be read to you is if they are actually questioning you beyond getting personal information for booking purposes. If they want to, if the police want to ask you questions about the crime that you are accused of having committed, that's when you read the Miranda rights. Otherwise, the police are under zero obligation whatsoever to ever read your Miranda rights to you if they are not going to question you about the crime that you are being arrested for.
Why are they arresting an innocent person to protect an evil criminal? Well, back when I was still waiting in the car to serve Josh, I got a phone call, and this call was from Brian, the collector's son who got all their stuff stolen. And he has a theory of what might be going on here.
Yeah, the cops down there are definitely all in with the Mormon community, and being the Bricks and Minifigs is part of that and worth millions. I would not doubt that they have donated hefty sums to the Mormon church.
What did I say? It's speculation, but what did I say? I said the exact same fucking thing. Speculatively, not definitively, but I said the exact same fucking thing.
Of which all the cops are probably a part of.
Yeah, Brandon Best, Joshua Johnson, and Eamon, the CEO, are all super Mormon. Like, the CEO even went to the Mormon University. And when I looked up all the police officers who were treating me unfairly, they were all Mormon too.
And they take care of their own, man. They are like a huge clan that takes care of each other.
And instead of trying to get rid of the few bad people who are making Mormonism look bad, they're for some reason choosing to protect these criminals. But eventually, I got released from jail.
Out of jail now?
And this is when it really hit me that
What's
the
the charge?
justice system has decided to protect these criminals. So now, there's really only one way I can think of to get this family the money back that got stolen from them. Which is a GoFundMe. Yeah, it is a pretty anticlimactic ending, but at least I'm confident that I'm not going to get in trouble for this. Now that our GoFundMe is live, it's time to promote it, to start getting donations. We printed out the GoFundMe's picture to hang it up so we could get a nice Instagram video to post to social media. But before the group could even hang the picture up, the police came.
What you guys up to?
We're starting a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're going to get a bunch of publicity to get basically all this money back for this family.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to do the lawsuit anymore. We're just going to do this GoFundMe. We've already got it started.
can run into some defamation stuff.
Again, the police were
Okay, fair point to that. However, that's civil. The cops saying this can run into defamation, that's civil, that's not criminal. That's not something you can be arrested for. So, just saying.
thinking of any technicality they could think of to protect their Mormon friend.
Look at your stalking code. See if it's that. If it's not, we're going to look at disorderly. If it's not disorderly, then we're going to look at the city ordinance.
That sounds like that sounds like a cop that's just looking for an excuse to hook him up. Right there. Saying, look at this, look at this, look at this. We're gonna find something to arrest him for. Yeah. The corruption is starting to seem more and more likely now. Granted, the way Ben has conducted himself, the way Ben has conducted himself was not great. Okay, I will right there. The way Ben has done things, he's done things very wrong. I disagree with a lot of the way that he conducted himself. But them, they're hanging up a thing to basically film a video, and now because they're doing that, they're trying to find anything that to hook him up for something. That's corrupt. It really seems like the cops are circling the wagons for these guys right now. It does.
After going through every law they could think of, it turns out that hanging this sign on a fence and then taking a picture of it for Instagram is not illegal. In fact, what the group is doing is actually protected under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. So one of the police officers let the group know that they were okay to keep doing this.
Right now, I don't think you guys break the law.
But this other police officer wasn't able to accept this reality.
We're gonna take it down.
And then for the rest of this footage, the police redacted all of the audio. So I called up the police station.
Did they steal their sign? What the fuck? That looked a hell of a lot like theft by the police department. Yep. That's no, that's actually they violated the God, I hope I don't get this wrong. I believe that'd be violating the Fourth Amendment of illegal search and seizure. That's like an illegal seizure. I believe that's Fourth Amendment. Maybe Fifth Amendment. Am I right? Fourth Amendment? Okay, I was right. Fourth Amendment. Yeah, and now Ben has an actual case against the police officers because that was an illegal seizure.
To find out why.
All the redactions are done pursuant to the Utah State Code. We don't redact things just because we feel like it or just because something looks funny. Everything is redacted pursuant to Utah State Code. And other than that, I can't really delve into any more detail.
But the police made a mistake.
So Sue
they accidentally forgot to mute this police officer's audio. So when you sync the two clips together, I can actually hear what they're saying here.
He sees it or give it back? Is it an occasional crime? Is it disorderly conduct? Why? Is he upset about it?
I mean, I guess, but that's not.
Yeah, this police officer is right. Just because this might make Josh upset does not make this poster illegal. So I decided to let the police department know that some of the redactions they made aren't exactly what they're claiming they are. I think you guys might have accidentally forgot to redact another clip that was at the same time. And when I synced the two clips together, I was able to see what they were saying, like what the redaction was. And he was talking about how what we're doing actually isn't illegal and how the police officer might be wrong. And so it wasn't about protecting a victim. It wasn't any personal information. And so I was wondering, it seems like there might be a lot of stuff like that got redacted, maybe to protect the police officers, not to protect the victims, if that makes sense. And so...
yeah, we don't do that. So like I said, anything that's redacted is pursuant to Utah State Code.
I can tell because when I sync the two...
See, this is he's gonna need to file a lawsuit, and he's gonna need to file a civil suit against the police department, and basically have a lawyer get the unredacted footage through discovery. Yeah, if he files a suit against the cops, and his lawyer requests discovery of the footage, they'll get all unredacted footage.
Clips together, I'm actually able to see that that's what the redaction was.
Okay, well, that didn't happen.
That definitely didn't happen.
No, I don't do that, Ben. I follow the Utah State Code, like I just said.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It seems like the police department redacted this entire conversation because right here the police are actually admitting to themselves
he needs to get a
that
lawyer.
none of this is illegal, but they're still going to try to arrest us anyways. It seems like the only reason they're getting rid of this audio is to protect the police officers from getting fired. I don't know what the police officers are saying in this next clip, but I'm pretty sure they're scheming up a way to get the group arrested, because this is what happens next.
And Lieutenant Adamson can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to seize your phone right now.
Don't. Do not do that. You understand me? Right now you're attempting to destroy evidence.
That's illegal search and seizure. That is illegal search and seizure right there. He just said, give me your phone. No, he doesn't have to give you his phone. Not without a warrant. Literally, he should have, not even taken his phone out of his pocket. He said, give me it. When the cop said, give me your phone, he should have said, no. Do you have a warrant for my phone? If the officer says no, then you say, nope, you can't have my phone. No, it's not assault. It's illegal seizure. The cop didn't assault him. He illegally seized it. He illegally seized his phone. He took the phone away from him. That's illegal search and seizure. Right there.
Okay, put your hands behind your back.
I was just locking my phone.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the police officer's body cam POV so we can dissect what just happened. First, the police officer asks if he can confiscate Sheldon's phone, so Sheldon says, okay, and reaches in his pocket to give it to him.
He shouldn't have done that.
But at this point, Sheldon sees that his phone is unlocked. And at this moment, he decided that before giving it to the police officer, he was going to lock his phone, which is totally legal. There's no search warrant, so Sheldon is legally allowed to lock his phone. But as the police officer saw Sheldon's thumb moving towards that lock button, he snatched it out of his hands. And now the police officer's claiming that because he tried to lock his phone, he's destroying evidence.
Silence.
Yeah, I was giving it to you.
Stop talking.
I was giving
talking,
it to you.
Okay?
It's on my money. Look, it's on my wallet. I was turning it off.
Right now, this phone is being seized as part of this investigation, and you're being arrested. Okay, let's put him in the back of the car.
Lawyer. Fucking lawyer. Like, these guys, oh my god. For guys that have been acting so smart in the previous video, supposedly knowing about the law, they're doing everything fucking wrong. They have done everything fucking wrong every time they've talked to these cops. The minute the cop said, give me your phone, he should have said, do you have a warrant? If the cop says no, then you say, no, you don't get my phone. And then if the cop then takes it from you, now you have a legal search and seizure, so anything they get on your phone will be inadmissible in court. Like, what the fuck? The fact that he pulled his phone out, like he was going to give it to the cop, that may potentially hurt him in court. Like, these guys need to stop playing fuck around, and they need to get a lawyer.
And again,
these guys are doing
the police
everything
decided
wrong.
to break the law, arrest Sheldon, all to protect an evil criminal.
No, they're not. No. They're kids. They're not smart. No. These guys are easily in their... these guys are in their 20s. Okay? If being in your 20s means they aren't smart enough, then they shouldn't be out in fucking society. This is fucking basic shit. Okay? Especially when they have professed themselves to be somewhat knowledgeable of the law up to this point. Okay? I'm sorry. The excuse of, oh, these are kids. No, they're not. They're fucking adults. They're adults. They're claiming that to be somewhat smart and knowledgeable. They're filing court cases, so obviously they know something about the law. Oh, God.
Okay. My name's Detective Nikosha. I work here at the police department.
I did willingly enter.
No, fucking no. The only thing he should be saying is lawyer. That is the only thing he should be saying right now. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You already suspect that the cops are. You already suspect that the cops are in on it. You're already expecting crooked cops. The only words that should be exiting out of his mouth when this detective wants to talk to him is lawyer. And that's it. Lawyer. And say nothing else.
My phone, but when I handed him my phone, my wallet popped up. So I said, hold up, let me hit my power button. And I have it recorded as well. That's all I went and did. That's not obstruction of evidence. And then I let him have the phone. I wasn't trying to delete anything. In fact, it is actually impossible to delete something from an iPhone from a locked screen by hitting the power button. So in no context could I have been trying to erase something by hitting one button on my phone. Now I'm sure you have a phone as well. When you hit the power button, that doesn't delete anything, does it?
I imagine it wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I did. So I don't know how that's obstruction of evidence, but that is what it is.
Now that Sheldon is in jail just for promoting our GoFundMe, we started doubting if we'll ever even be able to get Brian his money back for his dad's Lego collection. It's crazy that out of
Yes, I have zero doubt that he was Mirandized before being questioned. That is what a detective does. The first thing that they do when they put him in the room is they read him his Miranda rights. So yes, he was absolutely Mirandized.
Of all the powerful organizations I've gone up against, the one company I'm not able to beat is a Lego company. I literally couldn't have imagined a worse ending for this video, but I had no clue that it was about to get way worse.
Oh boy, yeah.
American Park Police Department, make yourself known. Search warrant. Stand up.
Yeah. We saw it, yeah.
No.
This is what happens when you don't do it through a lawyer and you decide to do it for the content. Yeah, I'm guessing she may not. Who knows if she's even a process server? I saw her. I saw the process server girl was just chilling. If he literally just sent, if he literally had just had a lawyer send a letter from the very beginning, instead of doing all the theatrics for his content, this would not be happening.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Okay?
Yeah, this cop pulled my arm so far back, it dislocated my shoulder. He claims it's because I was attempting to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
But if we go back a little bit, you can...
There is just like, there is wrong on every scale here. There's wrong on the guy's part and there's wrong on the cop's part. It's just different degrees of it. The guys basically played fuck around instead of doing things the right way. And the cops, there's a good suspicion that they're corrupt. So it's like all sorts of like, everybody is in the wrong. In this image, everybody's in the wrong.
You can see I was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made 0 quick movements. So this police officer is just straight up lying so he can give me a serious injury.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes. The police department got an official warrant to search our house for stolen Legos. I should have seen this coming. Josh did threaten me in the last video that if I go out and actually try to sue him, he's gonna come out and say that I'm the one that stole the Legos. Okay, let's do it.
Fuck you, man. You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a fucking thief.
Dang. Okay.
You can shut the fuck up. That's your fucking choice.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit just to give you guys some context, but I actually got a copy of this warrant.
The reason they were searching our house was, it says, there is now certain property or evidence described as any stolen merchandise, specifically Lego merchandise. Evidence of illegal conduct on us that we stole the Legos.
Here's the problem. This is why I'm leaning more towards corrupt on this one. Where's the evidence to substantiate that? Just having some guy say, oh yeah, these guys stole Legos, should not be enough to get a warrant unless evidence was manufactured or law enforcement's in on it. Like, where is there evidence of stolen merchandise, specifically Lego merchandise? This, like, yeah, corruption is 100% on the table right now. Again, like, the way he's been conducting himself is not good in a harassment way, but this is corruption. Why are we having SWAT? It wasn't SWAT. That wasn't a SWAT team. That was just patrol officers. Every patrol officer carries an AR-15 in their squad car. So that was just patrol officers serving a warrant. But this is like getting a warrant for stolen merchandise with zero evidence to substantiate it. That's corruption. This town of American Fork is showcasing itself to be quite corrupt.
They're looking that we stole the Legos is why they stormed our house with no evidence. And this is after he's been proven to make up stories about us before. And so now he's just pulling something out of his butt. Oh, they're the ones that stole the Legos. And for whatever reason, the police take him seriously. Even though
lawyer.
He's acting like a crazy person.
Anyways, the cops probably felt pretty stupid when they searched our...
No, they did it. They did. This was all done for the purpose. This was done to harass them. He harassed the guys at Bricks and Minifigs. Now they're harassing him back, but with cops. Motherfucker needs to call a goddamn lawyer. Like, fuck the content at this point. He should have said fuck the content a while ago. He needs to call a fucking lawyer. Because eventually, they keep pushing like this, they will make something stick. They keep doing this. If they are as corrupt as they are purporting to be, as they are showcasing themselves to be right now, they will make something fucking stick. And he's gonna get lost in the fucking system.
Entire house and didn't find any stolen Legos. Again, the police illegally redacted this conversation to avoid them looking stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were talking about. But instead of doing what any rational police officer would do and let us go, they're sticking to their story that we're the thieves.
Caught my eye, and I've got a feeling I'm falling. Show me the rail, jump right through. I used to travel, single, sweet chance.
What are they taking him in for? The charge.
Yes. Now the entire group, we are all on our way to jail.
Why? Charge. What's the charge?
Except for me.
See?
I got taken to an interrogation room so they could find some reason to lock me up for good.
Ben, I'm Detective Nikosha.
Last time, I was able to get
lawyer
released on bail, but this time they're requesting that I be held in jail a month until my court date. But there's honestly nothing for me to hide, so I went through the entire story with them to show that
the story hasn't worked the last dozen times that you've told the police about this. The police don't fucking care. Like, seriously. Lawyer. Like, he showed at least some degree of intelligence in his previous video. How is he this fucking stupid?
detective that this whole thing is just a big misunderstanding.
If you think about it, 83-year-old man versus $400 million company. Even though the $400 million company's in the wrong, they're gonna win, you know?
The detective does not care.
Email, like, show up to court this day, that would be so easy for us. But this is how the law works. Like, that's not my fault. Like, I don't make the law. If I made the law, send them an email, and they're like, he doesn't want your papers, you just have to figure out civilly. I'm like, this is the civil method, you know? Like, to do it civilly, you have to serve. They're like, well, then just sue him then. I'm like, that's what we're doing. Like, you see how this is a circle? I am very interested on Josh's side of the story because I think he said, might have said we had heroin in the car or something, and they did like a 3-hour search on our car. Obviously no heroin, so I don't know what Josh is telling them to that we're doing, but suing him is not working for us. So let's do a GoFundMe.
Right after I mentioned this GoFundMe, the investigator wanted to leave the room.
Hang tight here, and then I'll be back with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Something about me mentioning this GoFundMe really caught his attention.
He's gonna go look it up.
All right. Good. Well, I'd just like to know more about this, like, GoFundMe. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we were just trying to get, so basically what ended up happening is Ben got arrested, which we were pretty blown away he got arrested, but I'm like, all right, I'll take over now. Like, I don't want you to get in any more trouble. And he's like, yeah, I can't get in any more trouble. Like if you take over, like that, you know, that was my decision. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. What other questions do you, like, I guess, have? Because there's not really, I guess, much else to say in the situation, to be honest. That's just the whole thing that just happened. I mean, I'm honestly, like kind of shocked to be arrested at this point for that.
Shut
yeah,
up!
This is definitely a very strange thing to be getting interrogated about, especially considering from my angle and the evidence.
Okay, he said to himself, like, okay, the cops might be corrupt. What makes you think that talking to literally any police officer on this department, if you think they're corrupt, is going to benefit you in any way? How would you think that this is going to help you? When you've said that they're operating illegally, that you basically said without saying they're corrupt, at what point do you think this is going to benefit you in any way, shape, or form?
I've seen the overwhelming evidence that they just blatantly stole from this guy. It's like us trying to then do a GoFundMe to get him his money back, and I'm the one, you know, getting put in cuffs. It's crazy.
I guess the detective didn't get what he was looking for, so he decided to interview the rest of the group.
It sounded like a great project to me. I was like, okay, like it's for a good cause.
How are you doing?
And for some reason, he was trying to get all of them to admit that the GoFundMe was my idea.
Hello. Obviously, Ben was behind the GoFundMe idea as well, right?
I don't know whose idea that was, because I kind of just started, I think they...
But he was supportive of it as his channel, right? He said, oh yeah, let's do this for the channel, from my understanding. Was that kind of your ideas to do this video with the GoFundMe and all that?
But I wasn't afraid to admit that I actually made the GoFundMe.
His channel did start blowing up after the first video. And he had I think 70,000 subscribers on his channel before. So I mean, it wasn't a small channel. It wasn't a big channel, but it wasn't small. It was somewhere in the middle. It's
for Brian, because a GoFundMe is a safe, legal way to raise money for a family if they got all their stuff stolen. I should be risking nothing by admitting this.
Basically, the police told me, do not take this man to court or else he will get arrested. And so I was just thinking, and we're like, let's do a GoFundMe, you know? And that was their solution.
But I was wrong.
We're gonna book you back into the jail, okay? The creation of the GoFundMe, right? We're blasting this person all over saying, hey, he's...
So creating the GoFundMe was illegal?
When I asked the detective how creating a GoFundMe was probable cause to send me to jail, this was his response.
A lot of this stuff you may have to just get an attorney and fight it in the criminal side of court, right?
Okay, should I go back?
Yeah, go ahead and stand up. I got.
If every single one of them had... No, it's not illegal. Him creating a GoFundMe is not illegal. It's none of this is illegal. Yeah. If all of them had just shut the fuck up and said lawyer, the cops would have had nothing. And they're booking him in on a bullshit charge. If his next step is not to get a lawyer, he's a fucking idiot. Okay? If Ben's next step is not to secure an attorney, I'm sorry, I'm already he's already lost me a while ago with a lot of his shit. Is the cop was saying he should get a lawyer. I agree. He should have gotten a lawyer right from the start, but starting a GoFundMe is not illegal. Any complaints regarding the graphic on the GoFundMe about it being defamation or something, again, that's civil, that's not criminal. Nothing about the GoFundMe is illegal on the criminal sense. There's literally no reason why he should be charged.
An officer right here that's gonna his cuffs for you.
Will I also be able to hear Josh's side of the story? Because I think he's said a lot of lies to you guys.
It'll be, and I never talked to Josh, but it'll be documented in the report as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
But the detective was lying. The police have illegally redacted every single claim Josh has made about me. And when I finally go to court, I'm gonna be completely blind to what I'm even being charged for. The worst part is that the police officers took away my bail. So now I have to wait a month in jail.
if he just not said anything during if all of them had said nothing during the interrogation, then they would have had nothing to go with. If every single one of them had only just said lawyer and that's it, they probably would not have had anything to put him in jail for.
However, I ended up getting extremely lucky. When a judge ended up reviewing this arrest, they thought the whole thing was so stupid and ended up releasing me on bail. So now, at least I'm a free man until my court case.
Okay. Now you go to a lawyer's office.
The illegal act that I committed was mentioning that Josh stole the Legos in our GoFundMe. So if you say who the thief is, then that is illegal for us to do that.
What's the actual charge? See, I don't like the fact that he's not actually saying what he was actually charged with. I don't like that. It seems like he's hiding something by not saying what the charge is. No, the charge would not be defamation. Defamation is not a criminal charge. Defamation is a civil charge. So I don't like that he has yet to say what he was charged with.
Now, I just have to wait for court. And honestly, I'm not excited. My entire life, I was taught if you steal from people, you get in trouble. And if you help people, you get rewarded. But I guess I was just taught a lie. By me trying to help and do the right thing, all I did was just screw everything up and get all of my friends in trouble.
You fucked up in what you were supposed to be doing.
I couldn't fix anything. And now with all the charges I got in this video, I'm looking at least 5 years in jail. But I finally accept my fate. I failed. And now it's time to go home.
Yeah, he did do the right thing the wrong fucking way. He went into it with I do believe he went in with good intentions, and then the content got in the way. Then it became all about let's make the content and not do things the correct, boring way.
But before I made it home, one of my roommates called me saying that a police officer just showed up to our house.
So he rings the doorbell, and he's like, "Is Mr. Snyder here?" I was like, "Why?" I was like, "Can I deliver a message for you?" He's like, "How could you deliver a message?" He said it just like that. He was like, "Just tell him he has a warrant for his arrest." Like, he thought he was in an action movie type walk off, and that was his like end screen line.
If I had to guess, I'd say that Bricks and Minifigs has seen that I am a free man, and they can't have me actively working on my lawsuit against them. And considering how many lies Bricks and Minifigs has made about me in this video.
Hey, fuck you, man. You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
American Park Police Department, make yourself known. Included in the warrant are Legos.
I can only imagine of what I'm being accused of doing now. So immediately, I called the Utah Police Department to see what my warrant was for. Someone showed up at my house today saying that there was a warrant out for my arrest.
If that warrant says a no bail, those are the ones that are more serious.
The only thing the police department could tell me is that I do have a warrant, but this time the judge approved it that I will have no bail. And I am now a physical threat to Josh, the person the police are protecting. So basically, at any moment now, I could be arrested without bail for some mystery crime. There really is only one thing that I can do now.
I'm a lawyer.
Well, I'm in Mexico now, and the American police have no authority here. What's going on? What the heck is that thing? Do you think they let us on that?
But at this moment, I realized what I had to do. Bricks and Minifigs thinks they can just bully anyone who tries to stop them in committing their crimes. And what's the only way to stop a bully? To stand up to them.
If me posting this picture online once got the city this.
You're standing up to a, oh my sweet fuck. And now he's gonna be a fucking fugitive. Dude, oh my dear God, this guy is, I'm sorry, I turned. I'm sorry, I was on his side at the very, very beginning. He told me. He told me. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. You are a fucking idiot. You've done literally everything wrong. This is a complete fucking 180 from the first video. Complete 180. He has made every fucking decision that he has made is wrong.
Upset where they had to arrest me. Just think about how upset they'd be if thousands of people started wearing it.
Which is why the picture that got me arrested, I'm putting that picture on a shirt.
And you can buy this merch at WeStealFromOldPeople.com. So go right now. It's gonna be sick.
And yeah, all of the law enforcement that's protecting Bricks and Minifigs is gonna be pissed. But there's nothing they can do because I'm in Mexico.
Would you get staying there forever?
Anyways, part 3 is now live on my Patreon at patreon.com/RecklessBen.
Also on Patreon, you'll find tons of behind-the-scenes content, plus the movie I made that all the streaming services rejected once they saw how gnarly it was. And all of the money I make goes directly towards trying to fight Bricks and Minifigs so they stop doing bad things to people. Also, make sure to donate to the GoFundMe we set up for Brian. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to promote this. I mean, I got arrested just for creating this thing, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Everyone donate to this GoFundMe. I'm in Mexico now. The police can't do anything to me here.
What the actual fuck? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. It is honestly staggering how bad of a choice this has been. It truly is staggering. Slowly. Now, that is not taking away from what looks like a lot of corruption happening at this American Forks Police Department. It definitely seems like there's a lot of corruption there, but he's made, like, the worst possible choices this entire time. Like, both things can be true here. The American Fork Police Department can be absolutely corrupt as hell, which it seems like it, but he's done, like room temperature IQ level decisions on this one. And I'm invested now. I need to see these next 2 videos. I need to see these next 2 videos to figure out what the fuck is happening here. We're gonna do this instead because otherwise, like I said, you guys are gonna get your eardrums blown out by Charlie if we try and do it this way. So this way I can up the volume so you guys can hear it, and then when Charlie interrupts, you guys won't get hurt. All right. Why? I said full screen. Dang it. There we go.
My name is Cameron Paul, and I am the Chief of Police for the American.
Good Lord, man. Okay.
Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media that have been presented in a way that calls into question some of the actions.
Can you hear him? Holy shit, brother.
These videos are affiliated with an influencer on YouTube.
Oh my God, this guy is so freaking quiet. All right, hang on. Hang on, I want to try something. Good night. This guy is like, what the actual hell? All right, give me a sec. All right, do that. Boost the volume. And I'll even turn on freaking closed captions. All right, let's see. All right, let's see if this works.
My name is Cameron Paul, and I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media that have been presented in a way that calls into question some of the actions of our department. These videos are affiliated with an influencer on YouTube and other social media platforms and stem from a dispute involving Legos that originates in the state of Oregon. In this message, we will be presenting 4 different cases and police responses from our police department, and will provide a detailed overview as to what happened and what our actions were.
Okay, so we've got a case number here. On March 8th, okay?
On March 8th, 2026, an American Fork resident, Joshua Johnson, requested phone contact from the American Fork Police Department regarding a suspicious individual who had earlier arrived at his home. Officer Tonga with the American Fork Police Department contacted Mr. Johnson by phone. Mr. Johnson reported that earlier that same day, a suspicious male had been at his residence. He stated the male was wearing a baseball cap with a UPS logo taped onto it.
That doesn't look taped. That looks like an actual UPS hat. Just saying.
Mr. Johnson also reported that a suspicious package had been left at the residence. He explained that what appeared suspicious was that the shipping label did not look legitimate. The package was later determined to contain rubber ducks. Mr. Johnson reported to Officer Tonga that he believed the male was an individual named Benjamin Snyder, who, according to Johnson, operates a YouTube channel. Mr. Johnson further explained that civil proceedings were occurring in Oregon and stated that he believed Snyder was sending individuals to his home to harass him. While Officer Tonga was still on the phone with Mr. Johnson, Johnson reported that two females had exited a vehicle and were walking toward his property. He also reported that a male driver remained inside the vehicle. Officers Tonga and Richardson responded to the area. Officer Tonga contacted the driver, who identified himself as Benjamin Adams. Although Adams initially stated he was there for unrelated reasons, he later admitted he had been filming Mr. Johnson while Johnson was walking around the exterior of his residence. Adams told Officer Tonga that an individual named Benjamin Snyder had flown into Utah on March 7th, 2026, and had contacted Adams requesting assistance with filming, for which Adams would be compensated by Snyder. Adams reported that Snyder had left prior to officers' arrival and stated Snyder was driving a dark-colored Hyundai passenger car.
So he's now alleging that Benjamin made contact with him prior to setting up where in his little observation spot. No, he did not do that. Hang on. Assistance in filming, which you would be compensated. No. Like, he was blocked. He tried to call Josh, and his number was blocked. So there was no way for him to get in contact with him. So that's a fucking lie. We actually saw him on the phone trying to call, and it was blocked.
By Snyder. Adams reported that Snyder had left prior to officers' arrival and stated Snyder was driving a dark-colored Hyundai passenger car. Officer Tonga issued Adams a trespass warning at Mr. Johnson's request and instructed him not to return to Mr. Johnson's residence. At approximately the same time, Officer Richardson arrived in the area and located a dark-colored Hyundai vehicle. Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign. Richardson contacted the driver.
Which, as I pointed out in the other video, as shitty as it is, they didn't properly stop before the stop sign. Now, what he just said is stop at the stop sign line, that there was no white line on the street. Granted, by law, he needed to stop prior to the stop sign to be a lawful stop, but he did say stop before the stop sign line. There was no line on the street.
Who identified himself as Tyler Shaw. A rear passenger also identified himself as Benjamin Snyder. When Officer Tonga arrived at the scene of the traffic stop, he spoke with Snyder, who stated he was in Utah filming a series regarding civil proceedings originating out of Oregon. Both individuals denied any involvement in delivering the package. At that point, Officer Tonga determined that Adams, Shaw, and Snyder did not appear to have committed any violations of Utah's criminal code. Officer Tonga advised Shaw and Snyder that they were trespassed from Mr. Johnson's property and could not return. Both individuals acknowledged the trespass warning and were released.
Yeah, and bear in mind, that was two separate incidents with the cops. The cops rolled up on them while they were outside of Josh's house, issued him the trespass warning. And then as they were leaving, they pulled them over again. So that was two different incidents with two different cops about the same damn thing. So as they were following directives and trying to leave, they got pulled over.
On March 9th, 2026, Joshua Johnson...
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm incorrect. When the cops showed up at Josh's house, that's when they said they need to leave, and then they departed, and that's when they got pulled over. Sorry, my mistake.
And again contacted our department to report that a male was at his front door, ringing the doorbell and knocking. Mr. Johnson reported the male claimed to be part of a YouTube initiative, and Mr. Johnson stated that the male was harassing him. Johnson also reported that the male had pounded on the door, opened the screen door, attempted to open the front door, and had looked through some of the windows to the residence. Officer Hawkins with the American Fork Police Department responded and contacted the male, who identified himself as Christian Morgan. Morgan told Officer Hawkins he was attempting...
This was the Mormon kid that they got to go to Josh's house to try and basically use his Mormon faith against him to say, why are you doing this?
...to help his friend Benjamin Snyder contact Mr. Johnson regarding a dispute involving a business known as Bricks and Minifigs, and some alleged money that was owed. Officer Hawkins asked Morgan how he became involved. Morgan stated that Snyder had posted on Instagram indicating he was coming to Utah and needed assistance from locals to get around town. Morgan offered to help and explained that at one point while he was in the vehicle with Snyder, Snyder requested help contacting Mr. Johnson. Morgan told Officer Hawkins that Snyder was likely nearby in a church parking lot. Officer Hawkins determined that Morgan had falsely represented himself to Mr. Johnson through his doorbell camera as belonging to a nearby church congregation that did not exist. Morgan had also told Mr. Johnson that he had been sent by Johnson's church leader. Morgan acknowledged to Officer Hawkins that these statements were false and that he had made them at the direction of Mr. Snyder. Officer Hawkins issued Morgan a trespass warning and
Hold on. Huh? So, because the footage that we saw was clipped. So, well, this would be body cam. That Ben was telling. Yeah. So did Ben fake the church bit? Did Ben fake when he had the guy to go to Josh's house? Did they fake the church bit, saying that he was a Mormon, that he was a part of Josh's church? No, he's saying what he was saying is that this guy that Ben sent to him did not belonged to a church congregation that did not exist. He lied about the congregation he belonged to. That's the allegation. If that's true, that's not good.
Instructed him not to return to the residence. As Officer Hawkins prepared to locate Snyder as part of the investigation, he observed Morgan walking toward a Hyundai passenger vehicle occupied by several individuals. Officer Hawkins believed Snyder may have been inside of the vehicle and intended to contact him as part of the investigation. Officer Hawkins initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle. As this occurred, Morgan turned away from the vehicle and ran away from officers. Officers did not pursue Morgan because he had not committed a crime, and Morgan was not
Sorry, what? They were just investigating him about being in front of Josh's house, and he was part of the investigation in regards to Ben, but you're saying he didn't commit a crime and they let him go when he ran. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, because he would have been a part, by their logic of why they stopped him in the first place and why they were conducting their investigation, that Morgan would have been a part of Ben's thing, whatever he was doing. And that would so he would have been, effectively speaking, an accomplice, if that was true. He never ran from. I can't remember. I can't remember. Did he run? Like, I don't even like. Morgan didn't wait. Morgan didn't even show back up to the to Ben's car. Did that guy even show back up to Ben's car? I don't even remember he did. Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna do this right. Hang on. Let me pose up. I want to do this right. Let me see if I can find that scene. Here we go.
Everything like he said, because he swore on everything. He swore on God. This might be a crazy ask, but could you take a selfie with me?
But anyways, back to us.
Yeah, that was it. So that was a. We did get edited footage. Like he was up there, and like he wasn't like pounding on the doors or anything. Like no, they didn't have him walking back to the car. Like they weren't even nearby. This guy drove over here. I don't see Ben any fucking where. Like they pulled Ben over all the way over here. So there was no stop. And plus, look at the difference in time. It was like nighttime. So this doesn't make fucking sense. Yeah, this is a long she did not walk back to Ben's car after the police let him go. Like when they pulled Ben over, it was a long time after, and it was at nighttime. So. And when they pulled Ben over, he was driving. Morgan was not there walking. So that's a fucking lie. That's a flat out fucking lie.
Observed again by our officers. Officer Hawkins discovered the vehicle was occupied by Tyler Shaw and Benjamin Snyder, both of whom had been trespassed from Mr. Johnson's residence the previous day. As Officer Hawkins spoke with Shaw and Snyder, they initially denied sending Morgan to the residence. Later in this conversation, Snyder admitted.
Did they? Pretty sure they didn't deny it. I'm pretty sure they never denied this.
They had indeed sent Morgan and another unidentified individual to attempt to contact Mr. Johnson because, according to Snyder, their civil case could not proceed without an attempt at verbal reconciliation. During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
He completely, so this chief completely skipped over the part where they pulled them over because of a tip that they had drugs in the car. Don't forget, when they pulled them over on this incident, the police officers were claiming they got a tip that there were drugs in the car. The police chief did not mention any of that whatsoever. Not one fucking bit. Because that was the whole reason for the stop in the first place, was a tip that there were drugs in the car. And you're not going to mention that? That, oh, we got a tip that there were drugs in the car? Yeah, he is 100%, like this, holy fuck, this entire police department's fucking corrupt. This entire police department is showing themselves to be fucking corrupt.
Officer Hawkins asked Shaw if he would be willing to participate in field sobriety testing to ensure he was safe to drive. Shaw agreed. Field sobriety tests were conducted and no signs of impairment were observed. During this same time, while Officer Hawkins was conducting his investigation, Officer Fraughton used his police service dog to conduct an open-air sniff around the vehicle. Fraughton's police service dog alerted to the presence of the odor of a controlled substance, and the vehicle was subsequently searched.
Where was that in the body cam footage? Where the fuck was that in all the body cam footage? That they did it, they used a dog and the dog alerted. Yeah, I didn't see that in any of the police body cam footage. They asked. They didn't. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like that redacted footage.
No illegal substances were located inside of the vehicle. At one point during a conversation, Snyder admitted to Officer Hawkins that he and Shaw had actually delivered a package of ducks to Mr. Johnson's residence with the intent to have Mr. Johnson sign a fake delivery confirmation on Snyder's phone so that Snyder could later use that signature to create a forged contract claiming Snyder.
What the fuck did they come up with this? What the where? Oh wow! And I Garrett Holmes. Are you fucking kidding me? What is this happy horse shit? Yeah, where's the footage on this one? Where the fuck is the footage on this one? Cause I'm sorry, I don't believe a fucking word that they said. What FOIA? Ben already did a FOIA request. That's how he got the body cam footage in the first place to put in his videos. He got that through a FOIA request, except the police department redacted a shit ton of stuff from the footage. So, what the fuck?
Snyder could not be trespassed from the property for 5 years. Snyder indicated he did not believe there was anything wrong with this, and
Wait. I know where he got this lie. Oh my god. Chief, if you're gonna fucking lie, don't lie when the footage in question that you're talking about is in a previous video on the fucking internet. The police chief just described is what they did in the first video. Yeah. The delivering of the package of rubber ducks and like his buddy delivering a package of rubber ducks and then getting someone to sign on the phone and that signature was on like a contract that would not allow him to be trespassed for 5 years. That was in the first video. And it wasn't Josh Johnson. It was the female manager at the Bricks and Minifigs store. It wasn't Josh. So this police chief is taking what happened in the first video and claiming that Josh is admitting to doing and claiming Ben was trying to do that with Josh in this one. Oh my god, he's not even lying good. He's not even lying well. Hang on, I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna show you exactly. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hang on, let me find it. It's in this first video. I just gotta find it. Give me a second. Where did he do this? Ah, here we go. This it? No. Yeah, here we go. This is it.
Hi, sorry, I got a delivery. Can I get a signature?
For some reason, Amanda just started signing our contract without even reading it.
Thank you so much.
That's what this police chief was just referencing. This happened in the first this happened back in Oregon, not with Josh. So he's fucking lying and he's taking an event that happened in Oregon and claiming it happened in Utah with a completely different person.
And believed that there was nothing wrong with his posing as a UPS delivery driver. Ultimately, Officer Hawkins warned Shaw and Snyder again that they were approaching conduct that could potentially constitute harassment or stalking if they continued to send individuals to Mr. Johnson's residence. Officer Hawkins reaffirmed the trespass warning and released both of them from the scene.
Okay, next case.
On March 10th, 2026, Kaylee Johnson, the wife of Joshua Johnson, reported that a female was standing near the front door of her residence taking photographs of the home. The female was described as wearing long, fake, curly hair. Shortly afterward, Joshua Johnson contacted.
How do you know it's fake? How do you know immediately that it was fake? Huh?
Police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment. Multiple officers immediately responded to the area. While en route, Officer Sumbat with the American Fork Police Department contacted Mr. Johnson by phone. Mr. Johnson reported that Benjamin Schneider and several affiliates were outside of his residence and had approached the home, frightening his wife and his children. When Officer Sumbat arrived, he located a vehicle parked north of the Johnson residence, and that vehicle was occupied by Sierra Lautz and Benjamin Schneider. Officer Sumbat asked what they were doing in the area. Schneider stated that he was involved in a court case and needed to provide legal paperwork to Mr. Johnson. Schneider.
Wait, yeah, so he was there to serve the papers. Where the hell is all the rest of this coming from? Yeah, this is but like, talk about a woman with long fake hair and like, what? Maybe but the process server didn't have long fake hair. She had black hair. And it was just the two of them. There wasn't a bunch of people there either. What the fuck is going on?
Schneider indicated he worked for himself and that Lautz was his process server. Officer Sumbat then contacted Mr. Johnson to gather additional information regarding the situation. Mr. Johnson explained there was an ongoing dispute involving a Bricks and Minifigs franchise located in Oregon. Mr. Johnson stated that the prior owner, Crystal Law, had reportedly abandoned the store and requested that corporate representatives take over the location. Mr. Johnson...
What? Oh, that's a statement.
The prior owner, Crystal Law, had reportedly abandoned the store and requested that corporate representatives...
She didn't abandon it. That's a fucking lie. There's video evidence to the contrary of that. That's a fucking lie. Yeah. Okay, so now the police chief has just made Josh complicit. Not complicit. Basically, the police chief has just broadcast Josh's lie all over the fucking internet. Oh, that's not going to look good for him.
Representatives take over the location. Mr. Johnson identified himself as an employee of Bricks and Minifigs and stated that he had been sent to the store to secure the franchise location and...
Well, he's an employee of Bricks and Minifigs, which means Bricks and Minifigs has dominion over him and the store. When Bricks and Minifigs in the first video said, our franchisees do what they want, we have no control over them. Oops. Just blew that lie out of the water. And, Taiwanish, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, guys.
Protect company assets. Mr. Johnson further explained that Law had entered into a consignment agreement with an individual named Brian Mansell, but according to Johnson, Mansell had not been paid. Mr. Johnson stated that when he arrived at the Oregon franchise location...
By the way, why is the police chief even talking about this? This has nothing to do with any criminal case regarding Ben. Absolutely nothing. Everything he is talking about is civil. So why is the police chief talking about this in a press release regarding the arrest and charge of Benjamin Schneider? Set the record straight. Why? It didn't happen. It did not happen in American Fork. So why is he even talking about it? Huh?
Mansell demanded payment from Johnson and his business partner. Johnson reported that corporate representatives advised him they would address the consignment issue directly. However, Johnson claimed that Mansell continued attempting to hold Johnson and his business partner personally responsible under the agreement. Yes. Mr. Johnson also reported there were Lego sets believed to belong to Mansell that remained at the store. According to Johnson, they offered to return those items, but Mansell refused and continued demanding compensation. Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store.
Pretty sure that's a fucking lie. Dan did this out of his own pocket. Mansell did not hire him. So, unless there's evidence of hiring, that's a fucking lie.
Threatened to murder the manager of the store and forged signatures.
What? Yeah, that. Wait.
Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threatened to murder the manager of the store, and forged signatures.
Fuck. So now the police chief just fucked Josh Johnson legally. The police chief is saying that Josh just made up a ton of fucking lies about Ben and Mansell, the other guy. Holy, that's 100% slander. Oh my God. This just torpedoed any standing that Josh might have had by making blatant false accusations like that. Holy shit.
Mr. Johnson then explained to Officer Sumbot several incidences from the previous days allegedly involving Snyder and or Snyder's affiliates. Officer Sumbot informed Mr. Johnson that Snyder stated he was present with a process server to serve legal paperwork. Mr. Johnson claimed the paperwork was fraudulent. Officer Sumbot again contacted Snyder, who stated they needed to physically deliver copies of the paperwork to Mr. Johnson.
How are you going to get out of this?
Report states, Snyder told me he was following the government's instructions and that Johnson keeps calling.
No, following the court's instructions. Not the government's, the court's instructions.
The cops on him to avoid getting in trouble for his crimes. Snyder said this is the third time Johnson has called the cops because he thinks that if he keeps calling the cops on him, he can get away with it. But we are showing him that he's not going to get away with these crimes. Snyder allowed Officer Sumbot to take the paperwork to Mr. Johnson, which Officer Sumbot did in an attempt to help Mr. Snyder. Officer Sumbot advised Mr. Johnson that the paperwork appeared to be related to a claim and a case that originated in Oregon. Mr. Johnson stated that he had already contacted the Oregon Law Enforcement Agency with jurisdiction, which was the Kaiser Police Department, and had been told that nothing had been filed. Mr. Johnson.
Take question. This is a civil case, not a criminal case. So why would any police officer that knows his job and isn't corrupt hear Johnson say, I've already contacted the police department over in Kaiser and that's fake, when the cop holding the paperwork sees it's a civil filing, not a criminal filing. So why would the police department in Kaiser know anything about it? So we've got a multi-layer lie happening right now of Johnson, the police officer, or both.
Also stated he believed the situation was being created solely for YouTube content purposes and declined to accept service. Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
been
Look, you have, I see those papers? Yeah. So this is what you're trying to serve them with?
Yes. That's required by the court that we have. I wish we could just send them an email. I wish we could just send them a phone call, or the court could send it to them, but this is what we're required to do from the United States court. So we're just following the instructions of the government.
Have you guys been here before?
I have once. I came one time to have a good faith conversation with him before suing, which the government also requires us to have before.
So are you Benjamin Schneider?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm just following basically the instructions of the government, and he keeps calling the cops on me to try to avoid getting in trouble for his crimes.
Okay.
So that's why he keeps calling. I think it's like the third time he's called the cops now on us, because he thinks if I just call the cops on me, he can get away with it. But we're showing him like we're not gonna let him get away with his crime. So.
Okay. You okay?
By the way, he said they're saying that the paper supposedly already got served. Huh? That the case is active and that the papers have already been served. Yeah, Ben did say government. Yes, he did. He did. But, okay, the case is active. Supposedly the papers already got served. Yeah, when did he get served? Because when the officer went up to him and to give him the papers, he said, no, they're fake, I'm not accepting them. So when if he'd actually already been served, then he would have said, then he would have told the police officer, I've already received papers on this. But he didn't. He said they're fake.
I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, hang tight. We're gonna finish up some things on our end. We'll get you guys.
Okay, we might need you to fill out some documents
Thank you
later.
for the tier 3, Patty.
Okay, but because whoever serves him has to fill out a proof of service and might have to fill out some court papers, but that's just the legal way to do it.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Are we gonna see the whole walk up? Please, God, tell me when it's okay. Oh! And to that.
What was that? He does not want the paper, so.
How very interesting that they're not showing they're showing all the body cam footage of him, but they're not showing the body cam footage of when he tried to hand off the papers. How very interesting that the one part that they were trying to claim, they cut. They're not disclosing that.
Is that one of the papers?
Here's that back for you.
Okay.
He wanted you trespassed.
While officers were speaking with the involved parties, a sign was also located on the park strip across from Mr. Johnson's residence. The sign depicted Mr. Johnson holding U.S. currency in both hands while standing in front of an elderly man lying in a hospital bed. The sign contained the statement, "I stole a dying man's life savings." Schneider admitted he had placed the
Yeah, the whole thing about he's like, oh, I don't want those. It's like, yeah, it doesn't work that way. See, ironically enough, they're going off Hollywood logic, being that when you process serve someone, they have to touch it in order to accept it, and if they don't touch it, oh, you didn't serve me. That's Hollywood logic. That's not how reality works. If a police officer walks up and says, "I've got service papers for you," and the guy says, "Oh, I don't want it," then the cop just goes, "I'm leaving it right here. You do what you want with it. You've officially been served." The American Fork Police Department are literally working off of Hollywood fucking logic. With Hollywood guy does, because that's how they portrayed it in Hollywood for years, is that when somebody would get process served in like a movie or in a TV show, they would they falsely would indicate that if someone's trying to serve another person and the person goes, "I don't want to take it," and doesn't touch it, then they quote unquote haven't been served, and therefore they cannot be held liable if they don't show up in court. Like, that's what Hollywood did for fucking years, but that's not how reality works. So literally the American Fork Police Department is going off Hollywood logic and pretending it's reality. What the fuck?
sign earlier that day. Officer Sumbot advised Snyder that, based on the ongoing conduct being reported and observed, officers believed his actions were approaching the statutory elements of stalking under Utah law. Specifically, officers expressed concern regarding repeated appearances at the residence, directing multiple individuals to contact the family, photographing the home, and placing objects and signs at the property. Officers had already given Snyder earlier warnings.
It's
Snyder
on public
responded that
property.
He believed he was following court procedure. An individual commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual and knows or is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another, or to suffer other emotional distress. Utah law.
That emotional distress part. That's where they're getting them. The quote unquote emotional distress. Oh boy.
Defines a course of conduct as two or more acts directed toward a specific individual, including, but not limited to, following, monitoring, observing, photographing, surveilling, or communicating to or about an individual. It also includes approaching or confronting an individual, appearing at an individual's residence, contacting an individual's neighbors, delivering or placing objects on an individual's property, and using electronic communication or third parties to engage in such conduct. Based on the totality of the known facts at the time, officers established probable cause that Snyder had committed the offenses of stalking and targeted residential picketing under Utah law. Snyder was subsequently arrested and transported to the Utah.
Wait. Targeted residential picketing. How interesting that he did not pull that up. How very interesting that he is doing targeted picketing. But he didn't bring up the statute for the targeted picketing.
Residential picketing under Utah law. Snyder
and this was not for the GoFundMe.
Arrested and transported to the Utah County Jail.
Yeah, they didn't arrest him for stalking. Look at what they arrested him for. Look at what they arrested him for. They only charged him. Oh no, wait, stalking's down here. Sorry, I was wrong. Stalking is down here. Boy. When is targeted picketing? Good question. Interesting that the chief didn't talk about that.
On March 11th, 2026, Joshua Johnson again contacted the American Fork Police Department to report that Benjamin Snyder and several affiliates were again in the area.
Hang on. You know what? Let's look this up on Grok. Hang on. Define targeted picketing according to Utah state law. Oops, I misspelled it. Oh well. I'm sure Grok will figure it out. Let's see. Okay, what constitutes targeted picketing? Engage in picketing with or without a sign that's specifically directed or focused towards a residence or one or more occupants of the residence, and on the sidewalk or street directly in front of the residence, in front of an adjoining residence, or on either side of the target residence, or within 100 feet of property line. Doxing to enable picketing, public post, or disclose another individual's residential address due with the intent to cause a person to engage in direct picketing is described above. So they were classifying the sign as targeted picketing. Why? That law? Look at when this law came into place. This law came into place last year. This law literally, it looks like the definition came into place last year. And look what the suggestion is. Explore First Amendment limits. This feels like a violation of the First Amendment. This Utah state law 100% feels like it's a violation of the First Amendment. But that's something else entirely. That's something else entirely.
Mr. Johnson reported that the individual he believed had been stalking him was across the street from his residence, placing another sign containing Johnson's photograph. Johnson also reported that individuals involved were speaking with his neighbors. Officer Richardson with the American Fork Police Department responded to the area and observed 4 individuals hanging a sign directly across from Johnson's residence. The sign appeared to be either the same sign or a replica of the sign that was referenced in case 26AF02033. Officer Richardson contacted the group and asked what they were doing. The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign
this is
for
the phone
a dying
incident.
man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross, voluntarily showed Officer Richardson his phone to display the GoFundMe. While viewing the phone, Officer Richardson observed that Norcross was actively engaged in a FaceTime call. Officer Richardson asked Norcross who it was he was speaking with, and specifically asked whether it was Benjamin Schneider. Norcross confirmed Schneider.
Wait. What? He was not his phone was in his pocket. Yeah, we have the video. We have the video. The phone was in his pocket at the time.
Was on the FaceTime call. After reviewing the known facts and the elements of Utah's stalking statute, and taking into consideration the new actions from that day, Officer Richardson established probable cause to arrest Schneider for an additional count of stalking. Specifically, Richardson believed Schneider was coordinating conduct through third parties that constituted a continued course of conduct under the statute we reviewed. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data.
Yeah, you can't do that. Literally cannot do that. That is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. That is an unlawful seizure. So they just royally just fucked themselves there. Like, I'm going to seize the phone while I try to get a warrant. Yeah, that don't work. That doesn't fucking work. You police officers cannot seize property while they work on getting a warrant. Sorry, it don't work that way, asshole. You literally just violated the Fourth Amendment of the fucking Constitution. Holy sh... This dumbass police chief is literally broadcasting how fucking corrupt his entire fucking department is. He literally just broadcast that his police officer violated a U.S. citizen's constitutional rights to the entire fucking world. They are gonna have a field day with this one in court, both criminal and civil.
According to Officer Richardson's reports, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
He pushed the button, the power button.
Norcross then immediately opened his phone and began manipulating it, which led myself...
No. Sorry, what? Sorry, what?
Norcross then immediately opened his phone and began manipulating it, which led myself and Lieutenant Adamson to believe he was attempting to destroy evidence on his device. At that point, Officer Richardson...
Sorry, it sucks to be you. You know what? If he was removing evidence, if he was not under arrest, then sucks to suck. If he actually was, and there's no indication that he was because he was pressing the power button. Even if he was, he is not under arrest. You don't have any right to seize his property. You violated the man's constitutional rights. You didn't have a warrant. That's like, this is why I said what in the video itself, that the minute the cop said, "Can I have your phone?" he should have immediately said, "Do you have a warrant?" No, then no, you can't.
And Lieutenant Adamson forcibly removed the phone from Norcross's grasp after what Richardson
Cool, you just admitted Fourth Amendment violation.
Has a very brief altercation. Norcross
Admitting it to the internet that you violated someone's rights.
Investigation.
Bravo.
At this time, officers did not know where Snyder was located. While still on scene, Officer Richardson received information from an American Fork resident stating that several YouTubers had been renting an Airbnb property from this citizen. Officers responded to the Airbnb with the intent to arrest Snyder for an additional count of stalking. Upon arrival, officers developed probable cause, including information gathered from video surveillance from the Airbnb, to believe that Snyder had entered the residence and had not yet exited. Officers then prepared a search warrant affidavit requesting authorization to enter the residence to locate and arrest Snyder.
That search warrant was for Legos. They said the search warrant was for Legos, not for the stalking thing. And by the way, everybody was there. This was not, they didn't just jump from this scene and then immediately go to the other one. There was like a time delay because all the guys that they had, were hooking up were back at the house. And the search warrant was for holy fuck. Oh my dear God, this is insane. This is like absolute corruption with this police department. The police chief is flat out lying about the search warrant. Flat out lying. The search warrant, like, did he not pop up? Am I wrong? But did Ben not pop up the search warrant on screen and show that it was for Legos? Hold up. I'm almost certain that. Hold up. Okay, yeah, they did this. Okay, no, Homeboy was still locked up. They were in the house. Okay. So, no, Homeboy was in the house and locked up. Hang on. Where's the search warrant that he was talking about? Included in the warrant are Legos.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes.
Included in the warrant are Legos. So why are they saying it's a search warrant for the stock? Why would you need a search warrant? Why would you need a search warrant to arrest someone? A search warrant is to search for evidence. An arrest warrant is to arrest someone for the crime that you are professing. So why would they have a search warrant? If they said claiming that they're going to locate and arrest, that would be an arrest warrant, you dumbass. Not a search warrant. Holy God, this police chief is so bad at lying. When did this came out 2 days ago. Oh, this came out the day before Ben released his video. That's why he's saying this. Ben hadn't released his video yet, so Ben's video is fucking up his entire story. That's why. He made all of these lies up, and then Ben released his video with evidence to substantiate all of these lies. Oh, the federal attorney needs to come down on this whole town like a ton of bricks. The feds need to come down on this entire town and on this entire police department like a ton of fucking bricks, because this is absolute fucking corruption.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken.
So, if they actually put that in the warrant, that means the judge is on the hook for this too. Whatever judge signed off on this warrant, they're going to be on the hook for this too. Because that means that a judge signed off on a search warrant based upon hearsay. And judges are not, non-corrupt judges, mind you, are not exactly known for signing off on a search warrant where the only evidence is hearsay. Holy shit. This is like, feds? You need to come down on this town like the hammer of fucking God, because the entire legal system right now is showcasing itself to be insanely fucking corrupt.
Based on that information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise.
Oh, my God.
Roger W. Griffin.
The feds need to hit this place.
The search warrant.
Oh, we got a name. We got a name. Hold up.
4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed.
The 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin. We have a name. We have a name of the judge who signed off on this warrant. And signed off on a warrant about quote-unquote stolen Legos with, at best, hearsay evidence. At best. Yeah. I hope to God we see a federal case happen out of this. I really do. We need to see the Attorney General. Judge Pirro? Hello? You're looking for corruption, Judge Pirro. You fucking got it. Right fucking here. The police department and the district judge have fucking at it. Let's bring in some federal agents. Like, what the fuck are we doing right now?
Viewed and approved the search warrant. Officers executed the warrant as a knock and announce warrant. What this means is that our officers take the time to knock on the door, to present themselves as officers, and to inform anyone inside that they have a search warrant. As they were doing this, individuals came to the door. Ultimately, 5 individuals exited the residence. Those individuals were identified as Benjamin Snyder, Tyler Shaw, Stephen Allen, Sierra Lautz, and a male who was later identified as a 16-year-old juvenile. As the individuals exited the residence, they were placed in handcuffs while officers secured the scene. During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
And he didn't, no. That's a fucking lie. He didn't move Snyder's right arm behind his back. He put him in an arm bar and possibly dislocated his shoulder. That's on camera. That's a fucking lie. Dude, you need to stop. You are bad at this. My God, you need to just be quiet because you are really fucking bad at this. Yeah, he didn't place his arm behind his back. He put him into a literal arm bar and could have potentially dislocated his shoulder.
Mr. Snyder later addressed this incident in one of his YouTube videos. In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Snyder's right arm during the arrest. Additionally, officers documented no complaints of arm or shoulder pain by Mr. Snyder during his detention, transport.
Yeah, because you're intimidating them. the cops have already shown themselves to be highly aggressive, and Ben, for all of his faults in the way that he handled him, did what he was doing with it, doing all this, trying to serve documents and everything, everything, as much as I dislike how Ben handled himself, he's not one of these dumbass hood rats that always goes, I can't breathe, you hurt me, I want to go to the hospital. No. The cops literally intimidated all of these guys, and so they're just trying to cooperate because the cops have already been highly fucking aggressive with them at this point. So why would they complain if they think the cops are gonna hurt them?
Sport or booking process at the jail.
Wait. Last year, this judge dismissed charges with prejudice against an accused child. Whoops, shit. Damn it. Chat, stop moving. Last year, this judge dismissed charges with prejudice against an accused child molester despite the prosecutor asking for no prejudice if charges could be refiled. All right, I'll take that with a grain of salt. It can be very easy to misidentify, but I imagine the internet's probably working overtime to find this judge and find out what cases he's worked on.
All 5 individuals were transported to the American Fork Police Department. Due to limited interview room availability, the individuals were placed in a combination of interview rooms and holding cells while interviews were conducted. The juvenile male was also immediately released to his parents upon arrival at the police department. The 4 adult individuals agreed to interviews with Detective Nicosia.
Wait, that was a mistake. All 4 of them should not have done interviews. All 4 of them should have just said lawyer. Every single time they've been arrested by the police, they should have not said a thing to them and should have just said lawyer. Because if they already suspect that the police are corrupt, then why would you engage in an interview with them? Because if you already believe that they're corrupt, then engaging in an interview with them will only give them information that they can try and twist to basically use against you in a court of law.
The contents of those interviews are documented in the Associated Police reports, which will be made available through a link accompanying this video. Ultimately, Detective Nicosia determined that Shaw, Allen, and Lautz appeared to...
If the police are corrupt, what good would asking for a lawyer do? It means that it's basically stop line of questioning. According to Miranda, you can decline to answer questions and request a lawyer at any time. So the minute a suspect requests a lawyer, that means the police cannot question that person any further. And if the police do continue to question the person, that means that they violated the arrestee's Miranda rights. So that's why you ask for a lawyer. Because then if the police continue to keep pressing and asking questions, when it goes to court, you as the defendant could say, I asked for a lawyer, which means that you're saying I do not wish to answer any questions without a lawyer being present, and if the detective continues to ask questions, they violated your Miranda rights. So that means any evidence or any testimony that the detective has acquired through that conversation is now inadmissible in court because the detective has violated the Miranda rights. That's why you ask for a lawyer, because it immediately shuts down any interview with a detective.
To have been acting at the direction and encouragement of Mr. Snyder. These 3 individuals were ultimately released from the police department. Mr. Snyder was subsequently transported to the Utah County Jail, where he was booked for an additional charge of stalking.
Wait, hold up. Yeah. Not hold it. There we go.
I understand that many people following this situation online have strong feelings regarding the underlying business dispute out of Oregon and allegations that
we have an issue with you lying.
Significant amounts of money. I recognize that people are frustrated, angry, and may feel that justice has not been served in relation to those allegations. Those concerns are understandable. I understand them and I'm empathetic to them. And nothing in the actions taken by the American Fork Police Department should be interpreted as validating, supporting, or defending anyone involved in that separate civil or criminal dispute.
Bullshit. fucking bullshit. There's the video literally shows your cops basically acting as a goon squad for Josh. The video footage literally shows your cops being corrupt, getting a warrant, a fraudulent warrant, with a judge fraudulently signing a warrant based upon hearsay at best. That it shows your cops actually violating constitutional rights of American citizens. Yeah, it absolutely shows every fucking one of you in a bad light, and I hope to God federal investigators descend upon that town and do a thorough fucking investigation of every single one of you.
Our responsibility in Utah was not to determine who was morally right or wrong in a business disagreement originating in another state. Our responsibility was to respond to conduct reported here in our community, evaluate the facts available to our officers at the time, and enforce Utah law as officers established probable cause that a crime had occurred. The fact that someone may believe they have been wronged financially does not exempt any individual from the laws governing harassment, trespassing, stalking, or other conduct within our jurisdiction. We remain committed to enforcing the law fairly, objectively, and transparently, regardless of who is involved.
So why did they bring up the stuff that happened in Oregon? Simple. He's trying to do a sympathy bit. He did that as a PR move to try and say, look, my officers were dealing with a guy that's been harassing someone all the way in Oregon, and then he brought that harassment back here to Utah. So are my officers doing the right thing? They're the good guys here because this guy has been harassing and threatening someone back in Oregon, and then followed him back to Utah to keep threatening and harassing him. That's why he brought it up, to muddy the waters of the facts of the situation. And, Jean R, thank you for the prime.
Or what narrative may exist.
Yeah, redacted ain't transparent. You're right. You're right. Oh, God, let's see the comment. We play differently here, said the same police department. Uh-huh. You can't redact the audio, so you redact the volume. We have investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing. Can't wait for the Netflix documentary, Lego Theft Uncovers Large-Scale Institutional Police Corruption. Imagine destroying your entire police department for a Lego thief. Corrupt policeman ASMR. Josh said he was going to shoot Ben, so he arrested Ben is crazy to admit. When serve and protect becomes harass and deflect. I've never seen a police department lick a corporation feet so much. Wow, they are cooking him in the comments. They are absolutely cooking him in the comments. Holy crap. Just as a reminder, no one had any idea Josh threatened to shoot Ben, not even Ben. The police department freely provided that information themselves and somehow saw it as being beneficial in their case while redacting all other evidence against him. Holy shit. This is insane.